It's time to hack the movies. Today, we're talking about tapes.
This time it's war. Hello, Joe.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm doing great, Joe from Movie Dumpster. Hello, Johanna.
Another Joe?
It's another JoJo episode.
JoJo?
That's what we're calling them now. They're called JoJo episodes.
Okay, that's fine.
Sure.
Everyone loved our review of Alien. They loved it so much. And when I was thinking of other movies to review, I was writing names on the board. I wrote Alien. I put a cash sign. I'm like, I bet if I do Aliens, I'll get more views and money. That's a deep reference, apparently. It's alleged that James Cameron like wrote on a whiteboard and did the cash sign for S to like convince Fox.
That's like the vampire dollar sign that John Carpenter stole that book and made John Carpenter's Vampires. The title of that book is Vampire Dollar Sign.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. That should have been the name of the movie. Yes, Aliens. The critically acclaimed sequel.
It's great.
The one a lot of people prefer over the first one. I did mention there are different opinions these days of certain people that they don't really like this one.
You mentioned that,
yeah.
And I can't wait to hear it and tell you how they're fucking wrong.
Yeah, it's just little thing. I think they're over exaggerating as far as how a sequel could have went. I think this is fine.
Yeah,
there are worse ways.
Yeah, I was gonna say it could have been way worse.
Could have been way worse. We've seen bad sequels and stuff. Anyway, getting this movie filmed was a nightmare. Have you ever heard of the whole thing that happened with this?
Oh yeah, they couldn't figure out who was taking the profits or something like that, or somebody got sued or something.
So the producers of Alien, Geiler and Hill, they sued Fox because Fox like fudged the numbers to make it seem like Alien was a loss for them, even though it made like hundreds of millions of dollars.
Oh my god.
So they had to sue Fox. That was figured out. They wanted to do a sequel. Whoever was the head of the studio was like, nah, Alien was a fluke. So they put the end to that. That's why it took 7 years for this to come out.
Sure.
Another person is the head of the studio. They try to get it set up. Nothing. And then finally, someone gets it set up. They get James Cameron to write a treatment. He takes his script, Mother, that he was working on, which had a power loader. He just rewrites it to be Aliens.
Yep. Well, he also used some of that for Avatar.
And some of it for Avatar. And I think Geiler and Hill were the ones who told him they wanted like military in it. So he puts that in there and he was in and out because of contract negotiations or whatever. So this is like a weird time. I listened to the commentary track. So in the span of 3 months, he also got the job for Rambo 2. And he called Geiler and Hill and he's like, which one should I do? And they're like, do both. So he's writing the script for Aliens and Rambo 2. And he's about to go into production for The Terminator. Go back and watch our worst Terminator episode. And he has to do rewrites for Terminator. So he has this whole thing in the commentary where he's like, so they all have to be 120 pages. So I divide it by this and I allow myself this much workday on this. So he had to like write 3 scripts in 3 months.
That's hella time management, dude.
For 3 well, I don't really like Rambo sequels, but 3 like really big films.
Blockbusters,
like,
yeah.
This is just like whatever.
Yeah.
The studio was a little hesitant to let him direct because he had one previous directing credit.
I thought they gave it. I thought because Terminator did well, they were like, all right, go ahead.
No. So no. He already like got the job as writer. I think after Terminator, they felt a little bit more confident.
Yeah.
But before Terminator, what's the only thing he directed?
Piranha 2, The Spawning. Only partially.
And I think he got fired from that, so not the best look.
And like Roger Corman is the guy, right? Like he's your dude in Hollywood being like, oh yeah, I can vouch for him, right?
Yes. But yeah, I think they were fine. Once Terminator was getting made, I think they felt more confident. Plus, he's a big effects guy. He did the effects for a bunch of movies.
Yeah.
Escape from New York, primarily.
Yeah, but, well, he's also working with Stan Winston on that first Terminator movie, too. So.
Yes. So yeah, they finally get him to direct. They didn't want his girlfriend at the time to be the producer. That was a problem. They did not believe in her ability or whatnot. They didn't think she was good enough. They thought she was just there because it was his girlfriend.
Yeah.
She was upset by that.
Like Sherry Moon Zombie, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
They convinced her to be part of it.
Look how hot my wife is.
So it gets time. They tell him to write it as if Sigourney Weaver's returning. So he writes the whole movie for Ripley's character, makes it all about Ripley.
Oh.
And then he finds out they never actually locked her down for the sequel. And she didn't want to do a sequel.
According to your magazine that you read, I thought she was like, yeah, the returning cast of Sigourney Weaver.
Oh, yeah,
and it was
well-
like, one thing could be Marines. What do you think?
Well, they had to do a bunch of contract negotiation with her. She got paid like $1 million for this, which was big at the time. Especially for an actress, that might have been the most at the time.
This was above her. This is like one of her biggest movies.
Yeah. Well, she wasn't sure about the sequel until she read the script, and she liked the script.
Sure.
But the studio didn't want to pay for her.
Oh.
Because they're like, that's way too much. So Cameron's like, I'm out. He goes, he marries his producer friend. They come back, and they're just like, yeah, Sigourney's in. We're doing it. It's like, good. We're finally making the
Did they have a threesome with Sigourney Weaver?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know.
Something weird with like the crew too.
Oh, okay, yes. So they had to film it in the UK.
Okay.
And they had unions. Like, and the unions in the crew in the UK were super like strict. And Cameron hated them.
Yeah.
And they hated Cameron. Because like he would just do stuff himself. Like
Yeah.
if he needed to move a light, he's just gonna do it. Like Bill Paxton tells the story in the commentary track where like they needed to drill a hole into something to run some cord, and the union guys weren't able to do it because they were having like their 15th break or something. So
Oh my God.
Cameron just got a hammer, just did it himself. So he's having fights all during this with the unions.
Jesus.
He's firing his director of photography, who wanted to light the hive all bright so you could see everything. Yeah, and no one was taking him seriously because he's filming this, I think, as Terminator's like coming out.
Okay.
So they haven't seen Terminator yet.
Or like the aesthetic they're in.
Yeah,
Or even
but-
just
or-
what he's going for and like
or even just the
honoring.
union guys, they're like, you're
Yeah.
a little dude. You're giving this. You've been given the sequel to a huge movie. Who the fuck are you? Like, they're not taking him seriously.
That is so shitty, dude. I remember I was playing. I used to be in a band, and I had a big drum kit, and I went on stage, and the fucking sound guy was like, "Do you need all those drums, Mike, bro, or whatever?" I got on, I fucking ripped it, and then afterwards, he's like, "Hey, that was a good set, man." And like, I feel like that was the same thing going on here.
You're just like James
I'm just
Cameron,
like James Cameron.
who was friends with Johanna and calls during the show.
See, I'm such a big fan of the Titanic that like we're just biffs now. Like, you know, as much as I promoted it
Yes.
when we did our review, watch it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think he's just kissing up to you because you have the heart of the ocean stashed somewhere.
No,
That's
no,
Trisha.
that was Trisha.
I have the butterfly comb.
Oh, he wants that more then.
Yeah. Did he say anything about our worst Terminator episode? Did he agree with? Well, Joe didn't like the one that James Cameron produced, but he's cool with me. I picked Genesis.
Oh,
right?
no, he probably endorsed the Terminator thing. He's like, yeah, it's the best Terminator thing that's come out yet.
He does have a habit of doing that. Anyway,
Jesus.
so he's fighting with the crew the whole time. He's firing people. It's a mess. Let me see. They cast James Remar as Hicks. At the time, they said it was like a family emergency, but he has since come out and said, yeah, I had a drug problem.
Oof.
He was doing, for the 80s, his drug problem was a little too much.
When was Tales from the Dark Side is 80?
That's
I think it's
later.
late 80s,
Yeah, it's
early
late
90s.
80s.
Or no, it's like 94 or something like that.
Yeah,
Keep
I
forgetting.
mean, he didn't really, I
Yeah.
mean, he recovered eventually,
Yeah.
but he never was like the leading man again.
He's
Not-
always just like in stuff,
he's always
but he's
in
not.
stuff.
I also saw
And he's
his
good.
Penis.
Huh?
I've seen his penis.
Did he send you a
Right.
dick pic?
I believe it was Sex in the City.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Very large penis.
He was Raiden in Mortal Kombat
Yes.
Annihilation. He is in the movie for like a second. And I will tell you what scene it is when we get there.
Do you see his face?
No.
Do you see his
okay.
penis?
No. Well, yeah, actually, yeah.
in
and
that
we were talking about
cryotube scene,
we
right?
were talking about the look of this film in the previous movie.
Yeah.
And I have it here. Cameron now regrets not shooting it widescreen, but he didn't like anamorphic lenses for all the effects because he had a bad experience with it on Escape to New York.
Okay.
I forget what the issue is. Like now he says he regrets it because he knows how to do all those effects in anamorphic now. And the film stock they used, they hadn't figured out their grain issue yet.
Mhm.
And he says, like, I agree with him. He's like, when you watch it on video, it's fine. But when you see like the first two movies like screened back to
Yeah.
back, he's like, oh, mine does not look as good.
I like that he's the aesthetic of it though.
Yeah, but he actually mentioned, he's like, well, a lot of movies also look like this at the time. That's why no one ever really complained about it. It's
Sure.
just when you screen them back to back and on a theater,
Absolutely.
and
That
it's like,
Blu-ray
yeah,
looks
one
great
looks a little
though.
bit crisper than the other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's let's finally get into this film proper. I assume we all watched the extended cut.
Oh yeah, that's the only way to watch this anymore.
Almost watched it on Tubi because of you.
I didn't rip
I
the
waited,
DVD
I don't
in
know,
time.
16 hours to finally get this movie from you.
Yes, I did. By the way, I'm having really bad stomach issues at the time of this, but I'm still recording it because I suffer for my art.
Like Dan O'Bannon.
Like Dan O'Bannon.
I just want to mention that I have stomach problems all the time because I have IBS. You're
Joanna,
weak.
this isn't about you.
You're weak.
I know you're on your
weak.
high horse now because James Cameron called you, but
Yeah.
let's focus on me.
Biffles.
Uh,
old Jimmy.
so
Jimbo.
so I'm ripping the Blu-ray for her last night, and which means I couldn't watch it because I had to rip the Blu-ray.
Oh.
And then I had to compress.
You don't
the
have another TV or something in
In
your
real
house?
time?
Yeah, it like takes a while.
Oh.
And then I have to compress it so I can actually send it.
Sure.
And like while that's happening, my stomach is just like, "Fuck you, Tony."
It's karma.
So I eventually just went to bed and I just fell asleep and I never sent her the file until this morning.
I tried to watch it on Tubi, but I was like,
I love
and it's
Tubi.
not the extended version. I have your account for some reason. Like I'm logged in on my computer upstairs.
Oh.
I don't know why. So if you see me watching weird shit like Titanic 666,
Oh no.
We gotta get Trisha in for that. We
Like,
gotta do that.
I saw that. and I
It's a
was like,
sequel to Titanic 2.
Yeah.
In the trailer,
Is
they
it-
call the ship the Titanic 3.
Is it Shane Van Dyke?
I don't think it is.
Oh, man.
But anyway, back to this. So we're watching the extended cut, which has one really important scene that the movie needed, which we'll get to. But other than that, I think the theatrical cut, a lot of the choices they made were fine.
Sure, but
Yeah.
again, when you watch this, the extended cut
Yeah.
with it, like all of those pieces to me, you know how I like my lore and my
Yeah.
character development and stuff. So
But remember, back then, the Gail Hurd, the producer, explained it. Back then, they didn't have like multiplexes, so you're limited on how many times you could show it. So they didn't want it being too long.
sure. Well,
Which
it's also
is why-
2.5 hours.
Yeah,
or something
well,
like
that's why
that.
they
Yeah.
take out that one huge chunk, but
Yeah.
it actually works pretty seamlessly in the theatrical
Considering,
cut.
yeah.
But yeah, it starts off with Ripley getting picked up by a salvage crew.
And Jonesy.
And Jonesy
And
getting
Jonesy.
picked up by a salvage crew. I didn't notice until I got the movie on Blu-ray years back that the gun from Alien is still wedged in the door from when
yeah.
the door's shut. I'm like, oh, I didn't notice that. But yeah,
Before you go on,
yeah.
I just want to note it here. James Horner's score in this
Yes.
is amazing.
James Horner's just great in
it's
general. Like,
fantastic.
everything.
When we get to the end, I'm going to talk about
Didn't he
like
die?
Yeah, he died in a
Yes.
plane
Yeah,
crash.
That's what it
Yes.
was.
When we get to
Damn.
the end of the movie and the big musical thing, I'm going to tell you about his relationship with James Cameron. And they did not like each other.
Oh, boy.
But he does Titanic.
No. I'll get to it. I'll get to it. But his score is pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good.
Oh, they only use it like iconically in every other fucking trailer
it's great.
ever.
And the
Yeah.
final, the
Yeah.
countdown one. So the big mechanical arm with the laser,
Mm-hmm.
James Cameron had to pay for that out of pocket. And this is a funny thing. So they didn't take Gail Hurd seriously because like, you're just his girlfriend. And they were afraid that she wouldn't push back on him, but she did it the most. And literally, he's like, I want this mechanical arm for a laser. And they were like, she was looking at the budget. She literally told him like, yeah, well, you're paying for it. So he had to pay for it out of pocket. So even his wife wouldn't give him any leeway. She's like, no, fuck you. You
Well,
pay
nobody's thrown him a bone at all, it seems.
No.
And he still came out on top.
I feel bad for the salvage people. They're like, oh, there goes our salvage. There's a
That was funny.
survivor.
Yeah.
Ah, there goes our salvage, guys.
But then I thought about it realistically, and I'm like, just boop.
Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I found this ship just floating. I don't know. Hey, where's the cryopod? Yeah, I don't know.
You just see it
Floating.
floating in the background out the window.
There's a big sunspot where it was.
We went through the recordings. It seems like there was someone on the ship. Nah.
Definitely got a bioscan. I don't know.
So yeah, we cut to this beautiful matte shot with a miniature in front of it of the space station.
looks so good.
Miniatures.
And this is the closest she ever gets to Earth if you don't count the extended cut of Alien Resurrection.
Okay.
Well, actually, no, Alien Resurrection is the closest she gets to Earth. But at this point, like, we never see her on Earth,
No.
except for the alternate cut of Resurrection.
Sure.
So it's funny that she just never makes it down there.
Yeah.
But
think
she's got
it's a-
shit she's got to figure out.
It's a great, sad story
really is.
throughout this whole series that,
It
that I
really
really
is.
like.
So yeah, we get caught up by Paul Reiser. And when I saw this movie, it was when my mom was watching Mad About You.
Oh my god.
And I was like, that's the funny guy. And I'm like, oh man, I wasn't ready for this guy to be a bad guy. I thought he
Corporate
was the-
slime ball.
I thought he was the funny guy. And he's dressed just like the guy in Carnosaur 2.
He is.
Talking about a lot of sequels.
Yeah. You know, there's a lot of Carnosaur 2 comparisons.
Yeah, it's almost like somebody watched I think James Cameron ripped off Carnosaur 2.
Joe, this might shock you. Carnosaur 2 came out after.
I don't think so.
Joe, if you want to know more about Carnosaur 2, you can go to my Patreon where me and my good friend Clayton Fioriti reviewed Carnosaur 2 and 3. So anyway, so they knew that they had to do this scene. Oh, by the way, she's been in cryo for 57 years.
Yes. Floating.
Floating.
Yeah.
She floated
there.
in between.
Yeah.
Just by chance.
He
they found her.
mentions like she floated in between like two big sections and just got lost.
Yeah.
So this apparently was a real conversation that might have happened, but she's remembering it because this is all a dream. And the reason it's a dream is because everyone assumed that the sequel would be her having an alien come out of her or something weird with the cat. You know, that doesn't make sense. But that's what everyone thought. So playing on the audience expectation, they're like, all right, let's just trick them early on.
It's a good one. It's a good gag.
It's a good one.
If you were in the theater for this, I would be like, holy shit!
Dude, watching it on video because
Yeah.
I saw this 1 second.
Yeah.
I was just like, what's going on? I'm like, no. I'm like thinking, I'm like, wait, it never jumped on. And I'm like, oh, it's just a dream. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Dallas didn't turn into the egg, okay? It was cut out of the movie.
Do you know how they got the cat to hiss?
Another dog?
No, not. That's how you get a cat to stand still. How you get a cat to hiss. It's a very complicated technique.
Okay.
You take a cat that it
They
doesn't
got Paul
know.
Reiser to tell it jokes.
No. Apparently, you just get a cat that the cat's never seen before, and you just put them next to each other. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. I've seen that play out many, many times. My orange cat that I used to have was the opposite. He was excited to see other cats. But
Yeah, my cat literally only likes people.
But
Like,
Space
yeah.
Cat is like Jonesy in this movie, where it's like, get that fucking cat away from me. I never want to fucking see that cat
This is
ever
my
again.
I think
house.
she means that with like everything though. Like
The worst is when she like has a crush on another cat. And
a
then,
crush.
yeah, she followed Raid Shadow Legends the cat around when they were living together. And she wanted like attention from him, but then when she would get it, she didn't know what to do, so then she would just hiss at him.
Cool.
Space Cat's an idiot. Anyway,
Sounds like some normal cat shit. Touch me, play with me. Oh, God, get the fuck away from
Yeah.
me.
Raid Shadow Legends the cat would like spot her butt and play because he was used to being around other cats.
Yeah.
And he's like, we're playing, and she's just like, I'm being murdered. And I have to scream at the top of my lungs. I'm like, all right, you guys, we're keeping you separated. Here's the
happy my
first
cat's
deleted
normal.
scene. The first deleted scene.
Well, you solved that issue by putting him in a crate and kicking him down the stairs.
Yes.
Yes.
So the first deleted scene, this is very, very important. And apparently Sigourney Weaver didn't like the way the scene came out, but she said, like, story-wise, this is the most important scene for her character.
Her acting is a little wonky in this.
I could see that.
But
But
it's-
story-wise,
yeah, I think
so
it needs
you
to be
find
there.
out that Ripley had a daughter.
Do you have any news about my daughter?
And
Amanda.
while she was in cryosleep, her daughter died on Earth. Like 2 years before. So she...
So that was after Amanda fought the
Oh,
Xenomorph
shut up.
on the space
Shut
station, right?
up.
Yeah,
No!
which is pretty interesting.
Alien Isolation is not canon.
Yes, Kanan.
I don't
Canon.
consider it canon. That's a deep joke. No, no.
You hate that game?
I hate that they padded it out to 10, 15 hours when it could have been, they only had
Oh my
6
God.
hours worth
Yeah,
of game.
It's a fun, scary game.
It's a great game.
I don't like that they're just like, oh, a chair fell over in this hallway. Amanda Ripley can't jump over that chair. Like, just don't even put a chair there. Just put a wall. I'm like, I watched her mother punch an alien in the face.
With the
And now I have to assume that her daughter's like, how am I going out the chair? Fuck. And then just walk the other way.
Well, to be fair, she's long dead before
Yes.
Ripley's found,
Or is she?
or Ellen's found, rather. I like that she doesn't have any kids. P.S.
Yes. So her bloodline is ended.
Yes.
For now.
She's still the only
Kind of.
Ripley in the universe.
Yes.
Technically, there's
Well,
yeah, Resurrection. There's a lot of.
I guess there is a kid
So-
in Alien.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah.
So Amanda Ripley is played by Sigourney Weaver's mother. It's a picture of her, which
Oh.
is pretty funny.
yeah.
But yeah, they try to do that fake out where they make you think Ripley's in the jungle, and that rear projection it's like not convincing. I'm like,
It looks fine.
nah, I'm like, she's not in the jungle. It's too brightly lit.
It's not
so-
supposed to be her in the jungle.
I-
She's
it's
it's supposed to be like
it's
a
supposed-
therapy.
It's supposed to trick the viewer into thinking, is it? Yes.
I don't think so.
Now, let me tell you about a
That's
bad...
not where my mind went.
That's not where mine
Yeah.
went either.
But
It serves the same purpose as the cat.
Let me give you an example from a bad movie that did this. The Lost World Jurassic Park. See, that opening...
On the subway.
Yeah, the opening, they scream at the dinosaur, then it cuts to Jeff Goldblum
Yawning.
in a tropical setting, but it's actually just a subway poster. And I'm like, all right, that was effective. Here it wasn't effective.
That's not the point of the scene.
So anyway, she gets pulled in.
She's
God.
she's dealing with the loss of her child that she never met and told her that, like, oh, you know, I went away on her birthday or something. I'll be back for your birthday.
No.
Her 11th birthday.
Just a word of advice. If you're going on deep space missions to other parts of the galaxy, don't make promises for when you'll be back.
They didn't expect
How would they know?
They didn't
How would
yeah.
they know?
They didn't expect
No,
it. Well, the
just-
company
no,
did.
Forget
Well,
forget aliens. Just in general, like you're going to another part of the galaxy, like there's a lot of risk involved.
Tony, there's 300 surveyed worlds in this universe, and everything's fine. Space travels, we've mastered it.
Yeah, we nailed it. Anyway,
You have the probability of getting eaten by a shark than you do dying in a spacecraft.
so she gets pulled into the executive board meeting.
This is a great scene.
Yeah, and I
Love
love
it.
how all these people are mad at her as if they're like been her boss forever, and like she's older than all of you. You were
Yeah.
in diapers when this shit happened. But yeah, they're like, "Why'd you blow up that ship, crazy woman?
That was a lot of money you cost
Did
us.
you see a spider or something? What's wrong with you, lady?"
I would do that.
You-
Thousand legger. I'd be like, I'm blowing this up with myself in it. Like, goodbye.
I come down, the store's all burnt, and Joanna's just like, "I saw a spider."
and then it crawls away.
Thousand legger.
It was the only way to be sure.
I can kill spiders now because of my fear of thousand leggers.
you nuked
So-
Hack the Movies video from orbit.
Yeah, it's the only way to be sure. So you're like, I had a lot of stuff in there.
I'm like on the moon aiming a rocket.
Well, no, the moon has spiders. Didn't you see Apollo 18?
No, it's cheese.
Well, yeah, that's how the spiders live there. They eat the cheese.
Did you guys ever see
That's why there's
Apollo 18?
I did.
Craters.
I like that movie. The Rock Monsters.
Stupid.
I thought it was fun.
I was like, what? Anyway, so yeah, they're in there and they're just like, "You're a crazy lady." Also, it's funny when you watch if you watch the theatrical cut, she's just mad. Then you watch the extended cut, it's like, oh, she just found out her daughter died.
Yeah.
And now all these people are like, "Lady, why'd you blow up our ship?"
You're a liar. You're telling me there's an alien that we've never seen before? Shut up.
Yeah. And it's she should be like, "Yeah, I don't know if you guys know this. Space is really big. There's probably a lot of stuff we haven't seen before."
They're like, yeah, right.
It's infinite. Who knows? But yeah, they demote her and
they suspend her license
Yes.
indefinitely.
yes.
And they put her under like some psychiatric observation or whatever. She has to. It's like a probation.
Yes.
And they're like, yeah, you owe all that money too. See ya.
Is that why she's not allowed to leave the space
I
station?
guess so. Yeah, they had. Yeah, yeah.
She's an indentured servant.
Yeah, she has to run power loaders for the rest of her life until
What do you
it's
think
paid
the
up.
repercussions were of none of that mineral ore getting back to Earth? We never find out what
No.
the consequences were.
Yeah.
It's not like a truck that, delivers something late. Like they were hauling thousands of tons of mineral ore.
What were they also using it for? I don't think
I
we
don't
ever
know.
find out. Anyway.
I don't know. So yes, she tells the guy, she's like, "Hey, can you just check out LV-426?" And he's like, "I don't have to. There's a colony down there. Everyone's great."
We've been terraforming for 20 years.
I love that he yells at her, but then when he's explaining, he's like, "Oh, by the way, we've been like he literally just shoot her out." But yeah, he's like, "Yeah, we terraform. It takes decades. They're down there. No one's ever seen this shit." So
What were those coordinates again you said? Where was the ship?
yeah, where
okay.
was the ship again?
There's like, I don't know, 70 families down there.
She's like, "Families?" So, what was I gonna say? This is where another cut happens. This entire sequence in the extended cut is not here in the theatrical cut. So basically, we go down to the colony. We see a little tractor going into the colony there.
I think you need this. Personally.
I'll explain.
Okay.
Anyway, we do get a scene of a guy being like, "Hey, Newt's family." I don't know any of their names. I just know Newt. Newt's
Rebecca.
I was gonna say Rebecca.
Nobody calls her Rebecca except
her
for her
brother.
brother. They're like, "Hey, this guy's out there. He said he was sent here on company orders, but if he finds something, can he keep it?" And the guy says, "I never asked them, because whenever I do, they say don't ask."
Don't ask, yeah.
And the whole don't ask thing was used for Terminator 2. I guess I guess he wanted that line, and he was.
It's a good bit between those guys.
But then this cut came out in 1990, so it was
Yeah.
out by the time Terminator 2 came out, so he just reused it.
Whatever.
It works.
Yeah.
I remember being so excited for this when it came out on tape. Anyway.
Yes, which I have here, the
Yeah.
special edition here. So yeah, the kids are running around the ship. We see the new Wayland Yutani logo. Building better
Worlds.
Okay, I'm good.
Got it. What's cooking up in there?
We're gonna throw up.
Did you feel something moving?
No, I think it was a burp. Okay, I'm good.
Okay.
Stuff's going on. Stuff's going on.
The cornbread ain't that bad, baby.
So,
That's really good.
so we see Newt's family. They're on the rocky terrain. They find the derelict ship, which is even more broken because it broke in real life. They were like, "Yeah, it was in the guy's like driveway for a few years, and like we had to like piece it together as best as we could." They go in. It goes about as well as you expect. The face hugger. The one cool shot is Newt screaming as the face hugger's going around her dad's neck.
Really like that shot.
They're also dumb. Like, oh, let's not call this in until we figure out what to call it in
Yeah.
as. And I'm like, you're an idiot. This is why people die.
And they go through a hole in the ship that wasn't there before. They don't go through those thick-lipped doors.
I miss the thick lips.
Maybe they came on from the other side. The thick lips are over here,
Maybe,
and the
Also,
crack is
you know
on
what
this
it
side.
really was? know what it really was? We saw how
They went right in the back
We saw
door.
how big the set was for the thick-lipped doors. They're like, we're not rebuilding that. Put a fucking hole in the ship. There you
Whatever,
go.
matte painting.
Here's a little hole. There's a bone. You got it. So yeah, this whole sequence is cut. James Cameron had no idea what to cut out of it. And his wife, Gail Hurd, said, we can lose this scene. And he's like, shit, that kind of works. And he's actually happy because he has it here. He admits that he was never able to create the same suspense and atmosphere and look from Ridley Scott's movie.
He tries to
derelict.
do homages and things
He
like
tries, but he feels like it wasn't as effective. So he actually liked cutting it because then he could focus on all the new stuff he was going to try to do instead of
Sure.
recreating a previous director's. I mean, I like the scene. I think it works. I don't think the miniatures are as good as what we see in the rest of the film.
that. I mean, it's not so much as the miniature thing as like the whole vision. Like I like that you get a little bit of Rebecca and her
The brother
and
yeah.
her parents and stuff like that. Just a little bit
Yeah.
more to be like, oh, where did
But
you know? Where did
it
come
also
from?
totally works just cutting it.
Sure.
Yeah. And it
But
makes sense.
Cameron, this extended cut is his definitive vision of the movie.
Yes. Yes. But like I said, it works. Yeah, it's the opposite of the other director's
Right.
cut, which isn't a director's cut.
No.
So yeah, they basically go to Ripley and they're like, Ripley, you'll never believe it. As soon as you came out of cryo and told us where the ship was, just coincidentally, we lost contact. And right away, she should be like, you motherfuckers, what did you do?
She has her suspicions.
Instead, she's like, what a coincidence.
Well, she's also like, I don't want any fucking part of it. Like, just
Yeah.
leave me out of
She
it.
slammed the door in the dude's face. She's
Yeah.
like,
Yes.
nah.
Him and Gorman, who was in Hellraiser 2.
He's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's his name? Tim Pope? I forget his name.
I think so.
Yes. So they're basically like, look, we need you to be a consultant for us. If these things are real, you know what they are.
It's so fishy because she's like, "What are you talking about? You have a bunch of Colonial Marines that are like armed to the teeth. What am I there for?"
She's got a point, though. It's like, I wrote everything that I
Here you
experienced.
go.
What do you need me physically there for? Just read the fucking file.
Go down there, check
There's
it
no
out.
reason for Ripley to go on this mission, by the way.
Except one.
No, because he stumbles into that.
Oh, he kind of blackmails her though, because he didn't know like if she was gonna. Because he banked on her being like, "Okay, you now we can prove it." And he's
Yeah.
like, "I'll tell you what, I'll give you back your license. How's that sound? We already got you a
Okay.
contract, kiddo."
Okay, yes. Because she's just using power loaders from now on.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh,
that
that's
the
real.
company
That's
just
real
has
sweet."
access to her psych profile. He's like, yeah, I read your profile. She's like, what the fuck?
Just like turning the knife.
Yeah. So she has another nightmare, and she's like,
Aren't there HIPAA laws in the
Not
future?
Not in the future. I mean, we're seeing the results of Johanna's voting decisions play out in the future, Joe.
Where's my Sharpie? That's not a Sharpie.
Whatever. I got the Sharpie here. you bitch. Don't. I will
This will really hurt.
Man, that will hurt. That's a fan sent that. Relax. So, she calls Burke. She's like, "Hey, we're gonna like destroy them, right?" He's like, "Sure." She's like, "All right, I'm in."
Not to bring back, not to study. He's like, "Of course not."
No,
What are you
wink.
talking- Get out of here.
Wink.
So yeah, we meet our Marines the next day.
Absolutely badasses.
Yes. We get a nice little establishing shot of the Sulaco, which some of it is full-size sets, some of it is miniatures. We
so
get to
good.
the cryopods, of which they only had 3. They only had 3 functional cryopods, and what they did was they put a mirror on one side and then a mirror behind the camera to make it look like a big hallway, and it works
Pretty awesome.
until you're told that. And then you look and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, those 2 pods are a little too close together.
Yeah, but it's
and then
movie
in the
magic.
commentary, James Cameron even says, like, if you look close, there's like 2 Vasquez. But it's effective and it
Yes.
works.
There's also a scene cut there too, where that whole panning thing of the Sulaco isn't in the theatrical.
Oh, it goes right to the. It's been a
Yeah.
while since I saw
and
the
there's
theatrical. cut.
exactly that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. But that was like an homage to the first
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah. So yeah, they meet everyone. I meet my favorite character, Hudson. Who's your favorite Marine? Who's your favorite Marine?
Between Hudson, Hicks, Vasquez, and Drake, those are my favorite. I mean, everybody. Frost is great. Everybody's
I
great.
met Frost. I
Yeah.
met Frost at a convention. I got a picture with him, I think. I'll see if I can find it.
Apone. Everybody's casted so well in this. and-
Nobody's annoying
No.
either.
Yeah.
There's no like, oh,
Well,
there's just
Hudson's purposely annoying later.
like,
No, but he's not like cringe annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are other movies with cringe annoying characters. What's her
Right.
name? Tina in Halloween 5. That's an example of an annoying character.
Tina
that-
sucks.
Yeah.
So, we also meet Bishop by Lance Henriksen.
I
James
love
Cameron
Bishop.
really likes to reuse his actors.
I'm into it.
Yeah, look at Bill Paxton.
Yeah.
Yes, Bill Paxton, who was a carpenter on
Fuck you, asshole.
Well, he was a carpenter on Battle Beyond the Stars, even
Oh.
before he was an actor. Then he brought him into Terminator to be the punk. And then he brought him into this. And then Lance Henriksen
Then he's in
lost out.
Titanic.
Yes, and then he's in Titanic.
I'm bringing up Titanic again. We're talking about James Cameron.
What you call it? Michael Biehn. Last minute replacement for James Remar.
Totally works.
It totally works. The only thing he felt left out on is because the Marines all went to basic training together to build like camaraderie, but Ripley wasn't there. Like Sigourney Weaver and them weren't there.
Sure.
So they could like, reflect on their performance. But then like Michael Biehn was like, I came in last minute. I didn't do any of that with them. I felt left out.
There was great bits between Bill Paxton and
Yeah.
Jeanette Goldstein in this,
Yes.
like busting each other's
And
balls.
I
that
have it
love.
here. Jeanette Goldstein as Vasquez is a win for diversity. Finally, we got Jewish, Moroccan, Russian, Brazilians playing Mexicans in movies.
Somebody said illegal aliens and she shined up.
There's all this kind
That really happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's all this controversy around her casting, and even she's just like she said, like, I'm a Jewish, Moroccan, Russian,
Yeah.
Brazilian. She's like, find me a role that's that, and I'll play it. But other than that, I gotta take what I can get. And the whole thing was they needed an actress who was also like physically fit for the character, because you can find like these bodybuilding chicks, but they can't act, and then you can find actresses that aren't built. So she was like the perfect one.
Chickadee, who's the medic,
Yeah.
it's actually pretty hot.
Yeah.
And I always forget her name. I don't know. I
Crap.
always forget
I know
that
the
one.
other guy, Spunkmeyer.
Spunkmeyer, and the pilot is Caro or Caro?
God damn,
There's
I forget.
one other one,
I forget them.
because there's Wisbowski.
Where's Bowski? Yes.
Yeah,
He's
I used
the
to think
guy.
Hicks used to say, "Where's Bowski?"
I did too.
Where's Bowski?
And I'm like, who's Bowski?
Anyway,
So
sorry.
anyway.
I think she were like. I mean, it's fine.
Well, I was telling you before, like, I knew Hispanic people. I had no idea she
No,
wasn't
I
Hispanic.
didn't,
know
until
either.
later either. Like, because it's not like cringy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like.
I mean, they all. I could tell.
Sorry, it's like the bodybuilders, like Gina, what's her face, whatever. My favorite actress.
Oh yes.
Oh, Gina Carano. That's your
my
favorite actress, right?
She can't act for shit, so she's a good example of why.
What if she was Vasquez?
Oh my god,
Hey,
that would be
pendejo.
so bad. This movie would have been canceled. Like,
It would've been great.
It would
Would've been great.
No, it would have been bad.
Anyway,
Could you imagine?
so Lance Henriksen is the Bishop android. And I love
I
how
love Bishop.
Yeah,
He's
I love
great.
how the whole film it wants you to think he's a bad guy.
I think it
So-
works.
Yeah, so and he looks evil, and they're constantly playing it as if he's just hiding stuff, and then
Yeah.
it's like, oh, he's just a really nice guy that everyone's really shitty to.
He's just a robot or artificial person. Excuse me.
Yes.
I like the scene with the knife. Because
Oh,
when
yeah.
they speed it up to
Yeah.
make it look like he's going super fast, but you still, if you look at it and you see Bill's head going like this the entire time, it's really
Well,
funny.
That might have been from the first time they shot it, according to Lance
Yeah,
Henriksen.
they got his finger.
Yeah, well, no, not even that. But they went out that night and they all got
super drunk.
They got super drunk and then they got called back and they said, "Yeah, the footage looks bad. We got to redo that."
Oops.
scene."
And then they ended up getting Bill's finger.
Yes, yeah, they cut him a little bit. Well, Bishop
Wasn't
cuts
funny,
himself.
man. Lance Henriksen, have you ever met him?
I stood behind him at Monster Mania while he was getting a donut.
When I used to smoke cigarettes, I gave him a cigarette and we smoked cigarettes together. But I had like conversations with this guy. He's like one of the most nicest, genuine dudes like ever.
He is really, really nice.
Why didn't you buy him his donut?
Yeah.
He was in front of me.
I would have been like, whatever he's getting, I'll pay for it.
I would have been like, "Oh my God, you were a man's best friend."
Oh my
I
god.
love that movie.
Love that movie.
You were in House 3,
Which isn't a house
which
movie.
isn't a house movie. The horror show, which I had him sign.
The funny thing is, Scream 3, when they try to trick you into thinking he's the killer.
I haven't seen Scream 3.
Oh yeah, he was the director.
Yes,
Oh,
but
sorry.
like I recently rewatched the show Millennium, which he was the star
Yeah,
of. Good 2 seasons. Stop there. But like watching him run in Millennium, I'm like, oh, he's not a very good runner. So when they were trying to trick you in Scream 3 as he's the killer, I'm like, he is not the killer. I've seen this guy run in other stuff. But
He's
yeah,
great
no,
in Tales from the Crypt, yeah.
yes, he's great.
Prolific.
In a lot of things I've seen, except for Alien versus Predator. Should have stayed out of that one.
Paycheck, baby.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was a good paycheck. I'm sure, you know what? That was a good paycheck.
And then he-
realistically, he's the only actor they could have brought back for that. So
But then he took Bill Paxton's mantle because then he was officially killed by a Predator too.
yes,
So it was the Terminator, the Alien, and then the Predator. Got him.
he did it.
Yeah.
He did it.
Oh my god.
And a Sasquatch, I think. I think I have a movie of him.
Oh,
called Sasquatch.
exists.
There it is, right there. Sasquatch.
Is it?
Oh, right here.
Yeah.
No, it's not Sasquatch. Abominable is the one he's in, isn't it?
No, he's in Sasquatch. Grab that tape right now.
Are you sure? Am I crazy?
Oh, there
son
you go.
of a bitch! Is he also in Abominable?
I don't know. Anyway,
Sorry.
I only watched one Bigfoot movie, and that's Suburban Sasquatch, directed by my good friend Dave Wascavage.
There you
so
go.
yes, Ripley doesn't like the Bishop android. She hates him.
Well, I mean,
You just stay away from me. You got that?
Yeah, and Cameron has admitted now that he kind of screwed up Marines because he wasn't familiar with Marines at that point. Like the depiction of the Marines, he was writing them
Trying to get some Octorian poontang? Is that what the
way
discrepancy
he was
was?
writing them was more in line with like regular Vietnam era regular army draftees who had like discipline problems. That's like the soldiers that were like painting like stuff. on
Yeah,
their
but
armor.
you want that
But
Motley Crue thing, man.
the
That's what's so
reason
cool
now
about
is
them.
After this movie, his brother joined the Marines. So then he learned a lot about the Marines, and he's like, "Oh, they're way more strict. Like I screwed that up." So he apologizes in the commentary track. But he
why-
was going based off what he was seeing in the Vietnam War with the Army.
It wouldn't have been the same if they were super straight laced and boring.
But the idea is that
Right.
they're so away from their authority figures
Yeah.
that they're just relaxing.
Yeah.
like-
Yeah.
which again, apparently is what happened like the Vietnam War, especially people who were drafted and didn't want to be there. They're just like, fuck this.
I think even Bill Paxton says, he's like, 4 more weeks, man. I would have been out of here, man. Fucking aliens.
I like that the exterior of the Sulaco looks like a gun. It
Yeah,
just looks like a
kinda.
big flying gun.
Big Nerf gun.
Yeah. And they don't take Ripley seriously, and they're like, whatever, it's a bug hunt. So I guess they have found other aliens in this universe, just not the Xenomorph.
Yeah. Also, Ripley, the character, is painted as a strong female lead the entire time. There is no building up to that. She's just like, yeah, fuck you.
Yeah.
The alien thing really happened. I'm gonna drive this power loader. I can hang with the rest of them, kind of thing.
Yeah, you're right. Woke. So
can we just
bringing it back.
unalive him?
Not bad for a woman.
Yeah, she actually does show.
Unalive.
Yeah, like
She actually does show them that, like, hey, I can do something. Like, what can you do?
Be my guest.
And she's like, I can operate a power loader. And if I was writing this movie, the scene would have played very different. But instead, she can operate it very, very well.
It's great. Apone is so like satisfied and cheeky about it.
Bay
Like,
5,
yeah,
please.
yeah. Doc and Bay 12, please.
Bay 12, yeah.
Yeah.
I once dressed as a power loader.
Yes, I was just about to mention this. How they did the effects. It's like this big foam core suit, and they have like a big, strong guy in there, like this 270-pound like bodybuilder sort of dude. And then because it's not just Ripley and other guys were operating the suit. And they basically stand in the front and they're like walking together. And the guy can like lift up the arms and then he has mechanical stuff. And yes, we did a review years ago for Aliens Colonial Marines.
Oh.
And at the end, our actress, Asta Paredes, had to fight an alien queen. And we built a power loader, which was Johanna in a yellow spandex suit. They had these like claws that the Guardians of the Galaxy movie had. And I spray painted them yellow. And then I got this yellow and black like rubber board you put down for like when you're working under a car, and I taped that to her face. So she was.
I want to tell you, it was so hard to breathe in that thing.
You cut a hole for her or something?
There was a hole, but then I put this board in front of her face.
Oh,
So what are you gonna do? So then her and Asta had to like work
Move together? Oh my god, that's hilarious.
So
I feel like I remember that, but or vaguely.
Dude, I had the worst camel toe. It was so bad. It was
Everybody in the comments is
That's-
going to look for that
Hey,
video
hey,
now.
Save it for your fans later.
I'm gonna post the actual picture. Zoom in. Here you go, guys. There's my thick lips.
Shut up! It's a family show.
You were just talking about thick lip doors.
Yes.
It's one way to get in.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
So they finally get into their supercar, which is bigger on the inside.
It looks exactly like I think, did they reuse that from Terminator?
I don't think so. No.
It looks like it, like during the Future War scenes.
No. This
sure?
is totally new. Yeah.
Okay.
And again, they did build a full size one that couldn't move that well, so it's constantly being intercut with miniatures and stuff.
They all look good.
And
It
like I
looks
said, the
awesome.
inside is bigger than the outside, and apparently the roof caved in once and split James Cameron's head open.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was like a thing that happened.
Those damn Brits
Yeah.
They
taking their
literally,
breaks.
like,
Yeah, and he wanted to respect the union after that.
He just wanted to make a movie.
Imagine being like on a set and everybody's like, oh, this fucking wanker. You know?
So they land on the planet. They go through the atmosphere and everything. Hicks falls asleep.
In the pipe, 5x5.
Hudson's talking about how awesome he is. He's the ultimate badass.
My squad of ultimate badasses will protect you.
Me and my squad of ultimate badasses will protect you.
And
So
apparently
fucking
this,
good. Knives, sharp sticks, supersonic electronic ball breakers. Why was that cut?
was that cut? in
That
the
was a whole
theatrical
cut scene, yeah.
It's been so long since I actually watched the theatrical
Yeah.
cut. So they this is a commentary again on the Vietnam War, where like we were the more advanced army or military that had the more advanced guns and everything, but we were fighting an enemy that we were not prepared for. Like
I never looked at it like that. That's
that's
pretty
how
interesting.
he described
yeah,
it.
it's pretty interesting.
Because that was the thing. Like we were going up against farmers, and they were like kicking our ass because we're like, man, we weren't trained for this. We don't know where
They
the hell
also
they
know the land better.
Yeah, they do the
yeah.
land better and everything. You have all the advanced military in the world, and we've seen that play out multiple times
Big
in
time.
real life.
Yeah.
In other wars, where it's like, yeah, we were supposed to be like the cool guys, getting our asses kicked again, and now they're on the bumper cars.
Fuck
Awesome.
yeah,
That's how it
America.
ends. That ends with them on the bumper cars. Cool. Anyway. So that's what this is. They're building up how awesome they are, just so the contrast of them just getting their asses kicked.
Yeah. I don't know if you're keeping up with current events, pal.
We just got our asses kicked, pal. They go to the colony and we see the aftermath of the battle. Now, there is do I have it here? Shit. I bought the comic Newt's Tale, which I think is a comic,
Yeah.
and I forgot to read it.
It's not a novel, right?
No, it's a comic, and I don't know where it is. I lost it in the move. But I will read that tale, and I will tell you what Newt's Tale was. But
If you see the extended cut of the movie, you know what it is.
yeah, we don't see them like the aliens attacking the colony, though.
But the aftermath is really cool though, because everything is like there's
Yeah.
still power on, but everything's like shut down,
Yeah.
and there's these big like acid holes in the ground.
Actually, when he spits in the acid hole,
Yeah.
you know what that is? He goes to spit, but like they couldn't build multi-layer sets, so then that's another miniature, and they have like a tier, like a drop, like going down.
Is it really?
It blends so
It's
seamlessly.
beautiful.
Like there's some effects that really stick out, like the drop ship's wings opening up.
Yeah.
That one's like sticks out, and then there's stuff like that where you don't even realize it's an effect.
Considering all the things against this,
Yeah.
the fucking movie's incredible,
And
and
apparently-
all the effects look really good.
Apparently, the producers, according to the commentary track, they're like, "What the fuck? Where are all our effects?" And they had to like point out because they had no idea that they were special effects.
Oh.
And
crazy.
they're like, "Yeah, this is a miniature. This is it." They're like, "Oh shit, okay." But yeah, in this scene, we get introduced to their motion tracker, which is setting up a scene later on.
I think we got something here.
I love the sound effects in this movie.
Beep beep
Yeah.
beep 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 beep.
Yeah.
Who's feeding those goddamn gerbils?
They were hamsters.
Who's feeding those goddamn
The
hamsters?
xenomorphs,
They were probably eating each other.
right? They're pouring the pellets in.
Yeah, I always look at that. I'm like, wait, it's been 2 weeks and those fucking things are still alive. Don't those things like
probably
die?
eating each other.
What you
Oh
gotta,
God!
You got to
That's
read.
the thing that happened.
You got to read Newt's Tale because right before the aliens hit, some guy fills up the feeder, like this big giant feeder, this big giant water thing. So they're good.
It's like when families in like the 50s and 60s would go on vacation, they just tie their talk up with a big thing of food, and they're like, all right, we'll see you in a week. Some comedian told that story.
Oh
I
my
forget who
God.
it was. So yeah, they're like, well, a lot of shit happened here. They find two facehuggers still alive, and they mention it killed the people they took it off of.
Yes, he died taking it off.
Yeah. And I will say, for a movie that has so much action and stuff, like, I always forget, like, how much suspense it builds for the first half. I'm like, oh, yeah, you always think
Yeah.
of this as, like, maybe because I'm watching the extended cut, too.
Yeah.
But you always expect this to be, like, the one with the guns. Like, oh, yeah, they actually take their time building up to it.
It's like that Texas Chainsaw thing where you're like, oh, that movie's bloody as hell. And it's like, there are big action set pieces in this, but
Yeah.
not as many as you think.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And not so too early in the movie. Obviously, the theatrical cut, they come a little earlier.
They take their time, and I love every second of it.
Yeah, and Stan Winston, like you said, did an amazing job with the
Crushed
effects
it.
on this. Really blew it away. He keeps joking that because James Cameron basically just designs all the creatures themselves
Yeah.
and just gives it to Stan Winston. He's like, all right, well, we got it. And in the commentary, his section is with Gail Hurd, and he talks about how he's like, yeah, you know, James is one of my greatest artists. And it's like, I think he remembers the difference. He's like, oh no, does he not work for me? I thought he worked for me.
Oh my
Apparently, he's
God.
giving me all these designs.
Well, he had that idea for that thing from Avatar, and then
Yeah.
that like transformed into the Queen
Yes.
to what it is now.
Yes, and we'll go more into the
Yeah, yeah,
Queen
we'll
when
talk
she
about
shows
it.
up. But
Yeah.
yeah, they find Newt as the lone survivor of the colony, and her Christian name is Rebecca. Rebecca what? I forget the name.
Oh God.
Cut to the name.
I was going to say Rebecca Chambers. Yeah,
Rebecca Chambers.
Of course.
That's right. Ha ha ha. From Tekken.
from Resident Evil.
Oh wait, no, there's another Rebecca in Tekken, right?
I don't know.
God damn it.
I can't remember. It's
Cut
Rebecca.
that
It's
out.
Rebecca something or other.
Cut that out. Cut out my Tekken thing. I sound like an idiot now.
It says it on her like award that she finds.
Yes. And I love the whole like, where's your brother? Where's your mom? Where's your dad? Like, they're dead. All right, can I go now? I love how she's like so over it. She's like, yeah, 2 weeks of seeing literal monsters rip people apart and then like implant other monsters in them. She's like, I'm done.
Maybe she's feeding the hamsters.
Maybe.
Oh, there you go. Give her a little Snickers, space Snickers,
Yeah,
or whatever they got.
Yeah, space Snickers.
Whatever. She's got MREs from Burt Gummer in there.
Yeah. So the Marines head toward the atmosphere processors because all the, I guess the colony people are
They're all
microchipped.
They're all implanted with these, these
Yes,
chips.
and they're all over there. There would be a few dead people where they were. They're not dragging everyone to get impregnated. They had to have accidentally killed a few people.
We also don't know if they eat them.
Yeah.
We never like kind of go into that thing. I like how it's a ghost town. There's no blood. There's no bodies.
I assume they eat them once the chest burster comes out.
like those spiders that lay, or those hornets that lay the eggs in the spiders.
Yes.
Oh. Ew.
Yes. So yeah, they all go there. When they get to the hive, that's a hanging miniature where the top of the hive is not a part of the set.
So it's all forced perspective, is what
Yes.
you're telling me. Yeah.
And as the camera pans down, we see Hicks about to turn, and they cut to make sure you don't know that it's James Remar.
I love how that was like one of the first things they shot, right?
Yeah, yeah. I guess they got lucky. They didn't have to reshoot too
Yeah.
much. But yeah, they enter into the hive, and it's awesome.
It's so cool.
Yeah, and they find out they can't use like explosive rounds, right?
I think that's what it was, right?
Or fire round. They can
just
use
can't-
flame rounds.
they can use a flamethrower, but not like bullets or whatever the
Yes.
hell whatever they're called.
Yes, because if they rupture something, it could.
It'll blow up the whole joint.
Yeah, the atmosphere processor can blow up the whole thing, which ends up being a ticking clock thing
Well.
because they're idiots, and even though they're told what to do, they don't listen.
If you saw those things coming out of the walls, and your corporal was like, "Okay, guys, don't use your guns. Just try to run away or whatever." Wouldn't you just, let's rock, right?
I would.
You pull out the
Okay.
what?
The problem is Vasquez and Drake they do the whole we're going to use real bullets before the aliens attack. So it's
Well-
not even like they're panicking. They're like, fuck authority.
Well, not even fuck authority, but like I don't know what's in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, apparently Hicks gets to have a shotgun.
Close
I guess 'cause
encounters.
that sprays. Yeah.
I mean, I guess so.
Yes.
I don't know.
Whatever. Specifically, the round in their machine guns are what they're not allowed to use.
Oh, they're smart guns, which I love.
Which are their
Steady cams.
yeah, steady cam.
The
Yeah.
arms and the chest plate.
I only got to use those steady cam with the arms once.
I have one.
I was really drunk using it. And I was on a rooftop.
Safe.
Yeah.
It's a hell of a balancing act.
Yeah. Not the time to learn how to use a steady cam when you're
No.
drunk off your ass on a rooftop. No railing either. I was looking back. I made a lot of mistakes in college.
Was this at
Jesus.
Temple? Because
Yeah, this was at Temple.
yeah, there was a thing that happened to a dude who was super drunk and fell off a roof because there was no railing.
Because he was wearing a steady cam, right?
Yes.
He was also doing a short film. Anyway,
It was actually Tony.
don't bring in the true story that, well, mine was a true story, but I didn't die. Like, I lived.
To tell the tale.
Are you going to do that? I'm like, oh, hey, Joanna, I drove home. You're like, well, you know, another guy was driving home and he drove into a tree and blew up. And I'm like, all right, well, I didn't.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But it could have ended poorly, is
Yeah.
what she's saying.
I'm trying,
Yeah, whatever.
trying to say I care. I don't want you to die.
Don't make more bad decisions.
Yes.
Okay. Who are you really?
That's like when you came upstairs the other day and you're like talking to me, so, how you doing? How's everything going? And I'm just like, what do you want?
It's just we don't trust each other. So yeah, the aliens attack. And it's awesome. I love how they blend in with the set.
They really go. They really go full force on.
Yeah,
them.
like they built holes for them to shove them in there.
Yeah.
And that one that like the tail comes down and it grabs the girl. That one looks so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. The medic that I was
Yes,
talking
yes.
about before.
Not the biggest fan of the ridged head aliens, but I understand obviously why they did it. You don't want 12 glass domes; they're gonna get shattered.
Yeah, but they wouldn't have made them out of glass.
Yeah, but it's just
It would have been like a
easier.
hard plastic or
Yeah, I
a
was gonna
resin
say.
or
And
something.
I like his
Might be too heavy, if anything.
Yeah, and James Cameron's like in continuity reason is just like, well, the alien we saw was only like a day or two old.
Well, that's a warrior, and these are drones.
Well, even before that,
Yeah.
his original idea, I think the toy line came up with the warrior.
Was it
thing.
really?
Yeah, but his whole thing was like, yeah, maybe after 2 weeks, you know, the shell like it hardens and then he discards it. And I'm like, all right, that makes sense.
Okay.
But
Definitely
really,
in the
it's an
comics.
excuse. And he had a good point. He's like, yeah, the first movie did so much work getting this 7-foot guy, and then he points out, he's like, it's actually not in. It's not in a lot of shots with the people in scale, so you could have just gotten anyone.
Yeah.
So he's like, so I just got regular 6-foot tall dudes and put spandex on them because like you never really see them back to back.
No.
Yeah.
And you see them a lot less in the film than you remember.
Yes.
Again, like you see them and it's very quick. They're
Yeah.
in the darkness, or you see that close-up shot of them shooting the mouth out and stuff.
And like I said, they're really, really effective because
Yeah.
it's. I think maybe there was like a few full-on suits, and then it's just black spandex with things glued to it, and it works. It works super well.
and
But
like
yeah,
lit with a flashlight. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
and shit goes nuts. I love the VHS camera stuff.
Yeah.
Imitate it perfectly in Predator 2, and then in Jurassic World, they literally had the same thing with the cameras on the heads, and probably a lot of other movies too.
Yeah.
It's a cheap way to shoot an action scene.
Well,
It's a
there
cheap,
you go.
effective way to shoot
Yeah,
an
why
action
not?
scene. But yeah, things get blown up. Poor Frost gets lit on fire. Ironic.
Oh yeah. You're missing one of the best parts.
Which one?
When they find the chick like
Oh yes,
up on
the
the
chest
wall.
burster.
Yeah.
Yes. And her eyes open up.
Help me.
Yeah.
Yes. And this chest burster has like arms.
Oh man, this
It was
thing
bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
It,
a
like-
little bit bigger, and it's just like wah!
it punches out, it's wiggling around, puts the hat and the cane and everything.
Hello, my darling. Hello, my baby.
But yeah, I like how they put all of their grenades in one pouch.
Yeah.
That just blows up.
And
all
poor
at
Frost
once.
gets lit up with the with her flamethrower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I said it was ironic that Frost
Frost.
gets lit on fire.
Stay frosty.
But the whole time Gorman's just panicking, and Ripley's like, "Well, I guess I got to do it."
How many combat drops? 2, including this
Simulated.
one.
Yeah.
35 simulated.
Yeah. So she takes control of the APC vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
She's not driving it very well. She's driving into walls. That's not a joke. She's literally driving into walls.
Doesn't it look like the Cybertruck?
It does kind of look like the Cybertruck.
you think Elon Musk was like,
stupid fucking
I'm
thing.
gonna make that.
I love aliens.
and
Yeah,
not
I
even
love
make
aliens.
it right. Jesus Christ.
That's how he said it. He's deciding. I love aliens.
And then he
He's like
tweeted
sketching it out.
and then he tweeted
Here's
a
Stan
meme
Winston.
from 3 years ago. He's a fucking Elon Musk. I want to make a joke that would have been funny in like 2014. It's like, yeah, it's cool, Elon. Just fuck you.
Fuck him. Sorry, spit on you there. Little acid spray.
I would like him to buy Twitter and fuck him all over, but I know he won't. I know he won't. I know they won't let him. But anyway. So she saves everyone. She drives right through the fucking wall. Poor Drake gets sprayed with acid.
Yeah.
Also, something we didn't mention was like Drake and Vasquez like have a thing.
Yeah, they
I
have
like
a
that.
thing. They're into each other.
Yeah, it's cool. You're just too bad.
They're just too bad, yeah.
Just smacks him in the face.
Were they dating, you think?
Yeah, I think so. They were at least fucking for sure. Anyway,
They were doing something.
they were doing mouth stuff.
They were smooching.
They were smooching. Caught him smooching with his brother. yeah.
Holding hands so hard. Ugh.
So he's dead. I like how they put the shotgun in the mouth. And
Oh,
like,
man.
Eat this!
Yeah.
And it just backfires.
Eat this!
Ripley gets to kill an alien. This is her second alien, but this is the first one she's killed
Runs it
since
over.
the first one. Yeah.
Gets that Toxic Avenger head crush going on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And totally destroys the APC. Bad move on her part. She should have swerved around it. But yeah, as they're outside, they're like, all right, we're getting out of here. Fuck this. And Burke's like, whoa, I don't think we should leave.
Do you know how much this place costs?
Yeah. And he's like, you want to nuke it from orbit?
Significant dollar value attached to this.
They also find out that any of the Marines we didn't see die, the ones that were captured are still alive because they're going to be cocooned and impregnated.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're just like, nah, we're taking off. Hicks is in charge now. Corporal Hicks. And I like
Corporal Hicks versus the aliens.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I like how like even Burke was just like, look, you know, this is a species. We don't have the right to wipe it out. And they're like, fuck you.
I probably would have shot him.
Red
Like,
flag.
"Ah."
How they didn't kill him at some point, especially after what happened.
Well, they were about to, and then they got distracted.
Grease that rat fuck son of a bitch right then and there.
Yes.
I would've done it.
So they decide to get out of here, and they call their drop ship. But
Spunkmeyer and Caro.
And that girl, yes.
Ciro, yeah.
Turns out there's an alien on board. And again, this scene is very effective and cool. I think done better in Carnosaur 2. When it was the Velociraptor.
Was
You know, I think maybe the miniature of the ship crashing in this is better than the toy helicopter in Carnosaur 2.
Maybe.
But
Maybe.
I think the Velociraptor is way scarier than the
sure.
alien.
Mr. Arnold,
Christ.
yeah.
It's literally the same fucking shot. But yeah, they have the cool like rear projection thing where they're running away from the explosion. I like that the ship, it like flips and explodes, and then it goes into the atmosphere place and blows up the inside of it.
It's a weird shot too because it's like a panning shot.
Yeah.
Or like a dolly across.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it looks really good.
Yeah, yeah.
And I like the fact that like everything's practical in this.
Yes.
You know?
But they got to get out of there because they mostly come at night.
We better get back, because it'll be dark soon, and they mostly come at night. Mostly.
Shut up.
Mostly.
In the commentary, she talks about how her friends make fun of her for that too. Well, as
South Park made fun of it.
As of 2003, when they did the commentary track, she's like, they're still making fun of me for it.
I feel like one of those kids saw it on South Park.
So yeah, I love Hudson's shift from badass to crybaby.
Game over, man. It's game over.
Like it's such it's just like game over, man. And he's just like, yeah, we're dead. Fuck it.
I love how he tries to act all badass, even like during the knife scene or whatever. He's like, yeah, do this. But once like he's involved in it, all of a sudden he's like, ah!
He can talk the talk. He can't exactly walk the walk.
Exactly walk the walk.
Yes. So anyway,
Sure, Tony.
so they have to come up with a plan. They say it takes 2 weeks to get someone to pick them up, but time is of the essence because they ruptured something in the atmosphere processor and it's gonna blow
In 7 hours or something like that.
Yes. Which is not good. So they have a plan to send Bishop out there, but first they gotta like reinforce the area that they're in.
Again, this is a cut scene.
When they're testing out the
All the
sentries are in the movie,
yeah,
but when they're setting them up
and stuff, yeah.
with the fire in the hole, which is cool. These guns suck in the video games when you're playing as an alien.
Yeah.
You ever play Alien vs. Predator, the first one, the PC game? The amount of times I've died from these fucking guns.
They're meant to stop you, Tone.
you gotta crawl up on the wall and jump up from behind them and then slash them. It's so fucking annoying.
I think you just suck at games.
Is that why you don't like Alien Isolation? Because you get caught every 2 seconds?
No,
He probably makes the most noise.
Yeah, Alien Isolation's super buggy, okay? That alien is broken. It doesn't work the way it's supposed to.
I've never run into like a huge problem.
Me neither.
I like how the alien, if you look at the alien, it's like feet aren't really touching the ground.
Oh, it's moonwalking.
It kind of it looks like it's constantly moonwalking. And the one time I was playing it, I think it was with Asa. We were playing one of the movie missions, and like we're peeking through the thing, and just the game disappeared. It's just the alien was walking in space. Just the background completely disappeared. I'm like, well, I guess the alien's just in space.
What were you playing on?
PS4.
Oh, I play on PC, so.
I have not played on the PS4 Pro. I guess I will download it again. I haven't played Aliens Fire Elite.
Oh, Fire Elite Team. My buddy got it for me for my birthday, but I fired it up a little bit, but like not big time.
Predator Hunting Grounds was fun.
I didn't play that.
Except playing as the Predator is not fun. But
Go figure. That's why I want to play it.
But then also, like, playing as you think the Predator would is, like, bad for the game. You should just go in guns blazing. And I'm like, well, that's kind of defeating the purpose.
Yeah.
You know what we need? A remake of Concrete Jungle for PS2.
Yes, that'd be fun.
That game fucking rules.
Anyway. So they're setting up the sentries and whatnot. Ripley and Newt have a bonding moment.
I do really like their relationship. It's really cute.
Yeah.
Yes. But I think at this point, she mentioned she had a daughter, right? Or was that later?
Well, I'm sorry. Did you go right to where she puts her in the bed to go to sleep?
Yes, but it's not when she's like napping with her. Oh yeah.
No,
it's
yeah,
just the scene.
When she puts her to like go to sleep. Right. That was a cutscene too. I'm pretty sure. Where she
No, I think that's in the theatrical cut.
When she tells her that she had a daughter.
Yes, because
really?
I swear I remember it in the theatrical cut and being real confused by that just random.
Oh, maybe.
Check the tape. Am I wrong?
Did you ever have a baby?
Yes, I did. I had a little girl.
I like how
Tony is wrong.
Yeah, she'll do it too.
I like how Rebecca's like, is that where babies come from? Like the aliens? And she's like, no. That's different, kid. Shut up. Go to sleep.
But yeah, she gives her the tracker that Hicks gave her.
Mm-hmm. It's not an engagement ring or anything.
No.
It's just a motion tracker.
So I like when they're about to put Bishop in the tube to go all the way to the panel to call the dropship.
Yeah.
He makes a joke and he goes, I'm synthetic, not stupid.
Yeah.
And then he just goes,
I may be synthetic, but I'm not stupid.
And according
Is that
to
him laughing?
Cameron was like, what was that? And he's like, oh, I thought it'd be funny if the android realized he made a joke. And he's not sure if it like landed or not. So he has like a weird reaction to it.
So good.
Because no one laughed at it. So he's like, do I laugh? I don't know what to do.
I got a little concerned because the A2s were a bit twitchy. I didn't know what was going on there.
Did you see the behind the scenes still when he was going to have 4 pupils?
No.
So when he's checking out the face.
I've never heard of that. Am I crazy? I guess.
So when he was checking out the face hugger in the microscope and whatnot.
Yeah.
There's that scene where he turns and looks. Or when they originally shot it, it's like he had 2 pupils in each eye to like magnify.
Oh.
Even though he's already looking through
a magnifying
kind of stupid
microscope.
Yeah. So
hello, Bishop. Why do you have 4 fucking pupils?
Why couldn't they just make it like super like?
I don't know, but apparently,
or,
like if you have the Blu-ray behind the scenes, I think they show a picture of it in one of the behind the scenes thing. They never ended up using it because James Cameron, I think, was like, it's just too scary.
I don't remember that. One.
Like it's distractingly scary, and they're like, cut it out.
Looks like a goat.
But yeah, he gets in the little pipe, which is claustrophobic as fuck. He's just like,
man, when he gets in there and he's shuffling down the thing.
But yeah, I do like how Hudson's so ready to volunteer Bishop for it. They're like, send him. The sentries effectively scare off the aliens, but they've run out of ammo.
Barely.
Yeah, it took a real long time for the aliens.
C gun down, B gun down.
I love that moment where they're just like, yeah, are they whatchamacallit? They're empty, and he's just like, yeah, but they don't know that.
Yeah. Or they're like, oh, it's totally empty. We're gonna go up in the fucking ceiling.
So they have a cute moment where Hicks and Ripley are bonding over guns. And apparently Sigourney Weaver is like super liberal and did not like using a gun.
Really?
Did not want to use a gun in the movie. Wanted them not to have guns. And James Cameron was like, well, they're Marines. And she's like, can I not have one? He's like, you're Ripley. You need one. But apparently, according to him, he's in the this is 2003. Be a very different commentary track today. But he's making fun of her, like, oh, you know, she's really liberal. He's like, so I took her out shooting, and she shot like a Thompson machine gun or whatever.
And she was all
and
into
she
it.
was like, this is a lot of fun. And I was like, another liberal bites the dust. I'm like, I don't think James Cameron's going to do a commentary track like that on Avatar 4.
So then what the fuck's his name? I already forgot it. The Terminator from Terminator Salvation.
Oh, yes. That
Anyway.
Anyway.
I was going to make a joke. Fucked it up. You know what happens.
You're not like Bishop. You failed. Joe,
Yes.
a literal robot beat you at making a
Go
joke.
figure.
Get into your Twitch.
You just short down. You're like, oh, God, I fucked up the joke. So yeah, Ripley goes, and now she's walking super confident with the gun. It's like, you just learned how to use this 5
Girl
seconds ago.
power. Leave her alone.
She's got to go save her kid. That's not really her kid.
Yeah. Well, she's not even saying that. She's like, all right, she's sleeping under the thing. I'm going to go nap with her. But when she wakes up,
dun, dun,
also, they get 7 hours before this thing blows up. I'm not taking a nap.
Yeah.
I will never be able to, like, hey, a literal nuke's going to go off. You want to take a nap? No.
It's the whole thing where she's like, it's kind of like bonding with Rebecca and like, oh, I lost my daughter. I didn't even get to enjoy
No, I get that, but
Yeah.
not when there's a nuke on the way. So when she wakes up, she sees the tubes with the face huggers. She's like, oh, fuck.
When I think about this scene and like what Burke did,
Yeah.
like he can't, like I see him tiptoeing in and like taking the gun and like putting it out on the thing, and then like taking one of these giant stasis tubes and just like dumping it out
Because they're
And then-
shattered, right?
It's like
Is the glass shattered or is it
no,
just
it's
the
like
lid?
flipped
Yeah,
over
it
with the
just-
top
yeah.
off,
I guess he like unscrewed it and threw them in.
or just like placed it and took the top off.
Oh no, he's not. Are you kidding me?
I don't know.
No, that's how you get face hugged. He definitely like somehow he either shattered one of them or he took the top. He loosened the top and
He
must
probably-
have thrown
yeah,
it
and
in.
And
just
then
went like,
dumped it
boop.
over.
Yeah.
And
like
then
he had one finger on the button and he like tipped it over with his foot and then shut
What
it.
if she had just woken up and just all
Yeah.
burnt there? Like,
Oops.
like, I think he tried to face hug us, but it got on him instead.
Yeah.
So this is
Wayland's
super-
plans are foiled again.
This is super tense because for some reason the room they're in is soundproof. I don't know why.
Man, it's freaky. And
but
the
yeah.
camera thing.
Oh, that's the worst part. When
Ugh.
he's waving at the camera and Burke turns it off. He's like, yeah, yes. What were you saying?
Yeah, 7 hours.
So that was fucked. But she comes up with a good plan to light the fire. The fire alarm
Yeah.
to get them in there.
The sprinkler system.
Yeah.
Yes. The fucking apparently a lot of the face huggers were just like rubber dummies they were throwing around, but they had the one mechanical one that looked awesome.
I'm going to attribute that to Rick Lazzarini
Yes.
to do the animatronics for that, and it's sick. It looks so good. It
Now,
still looks so great.
The scene where it jumps up on the thing and jumps at the camera. So that's it. Mechanical thing. They stopped. They put the rubber dummy on the piece of thing. They shot it in reverse.
Yeah. All the reverse stuff looks good too.
Yes, and then put it back on the thing. Or no, but then put it on the camera and shot it in reverse to go back to the thing. So that's why when you watch it, if you have a really good eye, you'll see that the water falling down suddenly goes the opposite
Yeah.
way for a couple frames.
They do the same thing when it wraps around her neck too.
Yes, but it works. It's
Yeah,
real effective
it's cool,
reverse
man.
photography.
Love
It's
it.
not like Anaconda with the waterfall that goes in reverse.
Jesus Christ, that fucking movie.
Did you ever see that? There's a scene.
I thought it was like all CG, except I mean there was there is puppets in it.
No. There's a scene in Anaconda where they needed a shot of the boat leaving the one area that they were in.
Yeah.
But they only had a shot of the boat going into the area. So
Oh.
they
Reverse it.
So
Did
they
you see
played
the
a reverse
waterfall?
and you
That's
see
not
the
how
water-
that works.
See the waterfall going up.
With all the fucking shitty CG in that movie, they couldn't like fix that.
What are you gonna do? So yeah, they come in, they kill the face huggers. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Jesus, kid, watch out! They confront Burke, and they're about to kill him.
Yeah.
She's basically like, yeah, he was going to impregnate us, put us into cryosleep, and he was going to eject all your pods.
Yeah, he was gonna sabotage you all
Yes.
and slip in the xenomorph unbeknownst to everybody else through
Yes.
quarantine inside of us.
Yes, for
I don't
the-
think Burke knows the gestation period of these things.
I guess he assumes the cryo thing would also freeze their gestation.
But they also need to. It's a gamble. It's a hell of
He's
a gamble.
not the smartest guy, Joe.
He's ready to take a risk, that's for sure.
He's a go-getter. He's just not very bright.
Yeah, if I was Ripley, I would have taken the gun and been like, all right, let's go.
he also
they're about
did
to-
like murder an entire
Like-
colony.
Well, that's yeah.
He's
Oh
also,
yeah,
like,
that's
saying what happened and
Yeah.
everything. I wouldn't even have explained. I would
No.
just take the gun and be
That's
like,
right. That's right.
"Screw
She
you."
tells him, she's like, oh yeah, he sent them out there to
Yeah, I would have
investigate
just
the ship.
shot him and then been like, oh, I did this because.
Well, she wants to bring him back to like nail him for like conspiracy and shit like that.
I don't know.
That's not gonna happen.
I don't know who's worse, Burke.
I would have been pew pew.
I don't know who's worse, Burke. You or the goddamn things. You don't see,
See them fucking each other over for a percentage. And then meanwhile in the back, you're like, yeah, so, anyway, can we talk about the stocks here? These two xenomorphs.
There's just one alien that just doesn't really like the other. I feel like I deserve to eat more brains this week.
He wears
and here's
glasses
why.
on his no eyes.
He has a freaking newspaper.
However, the aliens are a little bit smarter in this because they're able to cut the power.
How could they cut the power, man? They're animals.
I mean, they have some level of intelligence.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see like what a xenomorph does when it's alive for like years.
Well,
what it
maybe
can do.
because it's like insinuated that they're also telepathic in this too.
Yes.
Maybe what if it's just climbing and it like hit one of the power cords and just went out by accident?
Well, I feel like it's like, you know how like a cat and dog can figure out how to open a door.
Well, sure.
They understand the mechanics of it, even if they can't physically do it.
Yeah, Ellie the door locks. Yes.
Yes, it's like much like the Velociraptors. Just imagine like a smarter alien. They're like, oh, I bet if we cut.
Oh, I was
this-
talking about Carnosaur 2.
Oh, right, Carnosaur 2, obviously. They cut the power in Carnosaur 2
with literal scissors.
Anyway, Carnosaur Tour review, Patreon. So where are we at here? Yes, the lights go off. The aliens are coming. They got the motion tracker, but they're inside the room.
It's reading right, man. Look.
I love this part.
Did you know what
so
was going to
good.
happen the first time you saw this?
I thought they were like underneath or something. I wasn't thinking about
They
above.
technically are.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
but-
everywhere.
Yeah. I remember like when he first like looks up and has the flag, and they're just all there.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
oh god!
I
That
love
stinger?
that shot.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
So good.
and just real easy shot. Just put the camera upside
Flip.
down.
Yep.
There you go.
Crawling on the pipes.
So yeah, they're running in. They're shooting everything. Poor Hudson dies.
Fuck you, man.
Rest in peace, Hudson. Burke locks them all out,
Oh, yeah.
and this is a case of what would Tony do? And it's like, oh yeah, I'm locking you all motherfuckers
an
behind.
He
asshole.
would, wouldn't he? Like, he would have the
would. No, he
chance.
would.
Listen, he has two groups trying to kill him right now. Which one? What would you do? I'm gonna lock them
Well,
all in.
Under those circumstances, yeah. Sure.
Yes. He literally has no one to help him. He is the most.
I also would not be in that situation because I'm not an asshole.
That's true.
Wow.
The whole reason that all of them
Maybe
are there
you don't
is
care about the company, Johanna, but I bleed blue. All right. Arm the
Arm
work-
the working classes.
What did I tell you about your Garfield politics? All right. Anyway,
Did you see my shirt?
that's the best kind of politics. Yeah.
so yeah, they're
What was he
shooting
gonna say to Bishop? Right? Oh, they all died. I don't know. Bishop's like, okay, Mr. Burke. Let's go back to Wayland now.
I'm gonna reset your brain, Bishop. Okay. So
Tell me some of those jokes. Bishop.
I like that. I like that when Burke locks them all out. There's an alien in an elevator,
It's
grabs
so
them. Oops. And it's presumed he dies there, but there was something cut out that didn't make it into any version.
Oh, really?
Yes.
The Burke cocoon scene?
Yes, actually. You guessed it. So then they all get
Can they shoot him in the head?
they all get into the air duct because now like the elite army has gotten their ass kicked, and now the little girl has to lead them to safety.
Well,
That's how
just
bad.
put her in charge.
And she effectively does become in charge.
Yeah.
Because the reason she's called Newt is because she can like crawl around in these air ducts. Because the kids were playing in the air ducts, and like a little lizard, she was able to get everywhere. That's where she got the
Spider.
nickname.
I
And
guess
of course,
Newt's cuter than Spider, I guess.
yes,
Or some other
James
name.
Cameron pointed this out. Air ducts in movies are always so big. They don't look like that. I think there was
The
one movie.
Future air duct.
Yeah.
I think it was one movie.
Bigger.
I think it was Wrongfully Accused, the Leslie Nielsen parody of The Fugitive, where they try to do the Mission Impossible scene and he's in the air duct, and I think he's like all frozen. He's got trash on him. I think it's that movie.
The air ducts in Double Dragon are like 8 foot by 8 foot.
And they're always so clean in
I was
movies.
gonna say, where are the cobwebs?
Yeah,
Like,
where's the dust?
Or
and
all the
everything?
dirt blowing through there.
Yeah, like,
I mean, Die Hard's kind of accurate.
I guess. It's
Yeah.
they got the size accurate, but it's
Yeah.
still bright and shiny.
Oh, yeah. Because
But
it
anyway.
looks cool when you bounce light off of it.
Yes. So yeah, they get attacked. Vasquez gets attacked by an alien. She shoots the alien in the face, but it is not Jeanette Goldstein's hand because she didn't know how to use a handgun. Because apparently in England you don't really have a lot of handguns. Yeah. So
Okay.
she didn't know how to effectively shoot the handgun. She got the recoil wrong.
Oh.
So producer Gail Hurd, who had plenty experience shooting handguns, she's actually the stand-in for the one close-up when they're shooting the alien.
Is it her foot too?
Yes.
Oh, that's
she like
interesting.
wore the outfit for the close-up. But yeah, her and Gorman die together.
I like that scene too.
Yeah, it was very cute.
You always were an
It's like-
asshole, Gorman.
Yeah. You got my boyfriend husband killed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess they make amends.
Yeah. So they die.
I did like, and then they're like putting their hands on each
Yeah,
other.
it's good. You
was
get
like,
that
"Aw."
alien come in and just
Yes. And then Newt gets separated from them. She falls down this other like air duct
What
wheel.
is that? Yeah,
I guess
wheel.
it's to circulate the air.
I thought
Yeah.
she was gonna get like crushed.
Yeah.
But I was about to be like, holy shit.
But yeah, she falls down into like the sewer, I guess. And they have to go find her. They're using the tracker. They find her, but they got to cut through the metal.
I
And it's
love
super tense.
the
Yeah.
scene
Yes.
of the alien coming out. Oh my god.
It's really creepy.
With the tail
when
and everything?
Yeah, when I
Yeah.
think of this movie, I think of that specific
Yeah.
shot.
Because it's so creepy. It just comes out.
Yeah.
And it's like a really great effect, except for you watch it on Blu-ray and you're like, there's the string for the tail.
Shut up!
But just watch it
Oh
on
my
Blu-ray.
God.
Like it's barely there. You really got to look for
No,
it.
it's funny. Cameron is the one who points it out in the commentary. or no, I think Stan Winston does.
Yeah.
Stan Winston points it out.
It was cool, man.
Maybe there was just a string there.
Could be.
Maybe that alien.
from the air duct.
It was hanging down.
But yeah, I like when they find the doll head and the eyes close.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, that's creepy.
Dark.
But she's not dead. Because they cocoon you sometimes when the script calls for it.
Depends.
And other-
She didn't get a tongue rocketed through her
no,
skull.
she didn't get the tongue rocketed through her head. The pilot got the tongue rocketed
Oh,
through
big
her head.
time, yeah.
So yeah, they're just like, we gotta save her, we gotta save her. It's like, we gotta get the fuck out of here, lady.
I believe you. She's alive. Can
Yeah.
we go now?
They get in the elevator and Hicks gets attacked by an alien.
That's a good one,
and the
too.
acid gets on him.
Yeah.
So we get rid of our hero.
No, we didn't. She's still there.
Nah, movie's woke now.
She's literally been the one.
Joe, I'm trying to be a successful neckbeard on YouTube. You have to
That's
call
right.
You don't even
I
have
forgot.
a neck beard.
I
need-
shaved this morning.
needs more views.
Well, you can't be a successful neckbeard because you have a girl who's super liberal with colored hair. All I'm missing
Crystal's
is
not here.
I'm just missing the nose piercing.
I'm sure it's.
I got the winged eyeliner on. Like
I'm sure it's on its way.
I don't want to have a metal
So-
booger.
They get up to the top. They get Bishop, and he's like, "We're ready to leave." She's like, "We're not leaving." He's like, "We're not."
How much time?
Plenty. 26 minutes.
We're not leaving!
We're not?
At no point does he go, "Where's everyone else?"
That's what I'm saying. Brooke would have came up and he was like, "We're leaving." He's like, "Okay, come on in, kiddo."
So they're gonna go fly to the hive. I'd be out.
I'd be like, fuck y'all.
And they like go. He goes into it. Like you have to get in there.
Yeah. Well, they can't go in the other way. The ship blew up the other way.
I know.
So they take the second drop ship. They go in there, and it looks like hell.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Fire and everything.
It's really awesome.
All the electricity is from some other movie. I forget the name.
Terminator?
Well, it was used. No. Actually, the electricity was used in Terminator, but even that electricity came from another movie. So
Did it
they're
re-
like
well-
recycling the electricity effects.
They're really getting the money out of that roto.
Yeah. Which happens. There's plenty of movies that recycle effects, but I mean, it's a good cost-effective way. They're
Big
like, I already
time.
have this
If it
electricity.
works, it works.
If it works.
It's not even like specific. You know what I mean? So
it's just random electricity other
Yeah.
places. So yeah, they go in there, and the extended cut. This is where you get the what's your name? My name's Ellen. Or it's like, good luck,
Yeah.
Hick, or I'll be back, Hicks. And he's like,
Dwayne, The Rock Johnson Hicks.
And she's like, Ellen. And they cut that out of the theatrical
I
cut.
thought it's a sweet scene, and I like that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
because you're like, wow, I have a good feeling about those two. I bet they get married.
They
in the
totally do.
sequel.
They're gonna have kids. They're gonna go back to Earth. They're gonna adopt Newt. They're gonna have Bishop running around like some kind of weird
You know
half
what's funny?
dog.
So the Aliens comics, when
Yeah.
they came out,
Yeah.
they're all about Newt, Hicks, and Ripley and whatnot. But then Alien 3 came out and they had to reprint them. A newly updated Dark Horse comic, Aliens Library Edition. And that one says updated to fit the 20th Century Fox film canon.
Why?
They went back and they re-edited the things.
I know, but why
So
bother?
suddenly Newt turned into a different character and Hicks was someone else. And then Ripley, who's in the comics, is like a robot Ripley. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, if you're gonna, well, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. Anyway, so she goes into the hive and it's just her with a machine gun tied to a flamethrower. And it's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So good.
This is where Burke would have come back. And he would have been cocooned.
Ripley, please help me.
They would have gotten him there pretty goddamn fast and cocooned pretty fast. But apparently she gives him a grenade and then leaves. And later on in the scene, you hear the explosion. Like, that was it.
I'd be like, nah, suffer.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
But, I mean, that makes sense to cut it. You just assume he died, or even if he is cocooned, he's going to die anyway.
I
so.
like the idea that he got face punched by the little mouth.
But yes, we get to see an egg finally, because I don't think we've seen like a full-on egg. Maybe we saw like open ones.
Not in this movie yet.
Not in this movie.
Yeah,
But
this
we
is the
see an
first
egg.
one.
First
we
time you
see
see
an
it.
egg open. I think we had seen a couple open ones in an earlier scene. But yes, the
I don't think so.
I don't remember.
No, she finds
unless
the
it's like
hive
in
here.
the background where you're like,
well, they were in the hive earlier when they first went to the
No,
thing.
but she finds the brood chamber, if you will.
Okay.
Also, that scene was cut when Vasquez talks to Hudson about the bees, man. Bees
Oh
have
yeah,
hives.
the discussion about a queen, but you kind of get it.
I know.
But yes, we see the egg, and I don't think the lips are thick enough on the egg. What do you think?
I agree.
They're pretty succulent, though.
They're pretty thin. They're pretty thin.
No, yeah.
I want more thick lips.
They're a little too red on the inside.
What the fuck?
Yeah. They're just a different color than the
Loud
queen.
when you slapped yourself.
They're all pink on the inside, too.
Also, like, well, this one doesn't look pink enough. That's my thing. Also, you notice the face huggers now have fingernails? I thought that was weird. Yeah,
do they?
Yeah, they have fingernails.
Oh.
If you look at in the scene where they're being attacked, they legit just have big fingernails coming
I mean,
off
it
of
makes
them.
sense to like latch on.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, good lord.
So why is it in the first movie the face huggers just launched out, and then in this movie they're all slowly coming out of the egg? It's like
They just woke up.
Yeah, they're tired.
You know what they should have done? They should have all jumped out at once, and then it could have went to slow motion, like in Alien versus Predator.
I hate that fucking scene, dude.
You don't like the flying vagina scene in Alien versus Predator?
No.
Vagina? What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
Anyway, so she rescues
On the inside.
So
They
she
gotta
rescues
spread
she rescues Newt from the aliens, and Sigourney Weaver sliced her hand open on that goo.
On the goo?
Because it's like glass, the thing that she was in. So yeah, so she's running away.
Oh,
They shoot an alien.
fiberglass.
The best part for the rest of the scene where she's carrying Newt, it's so fun if you look really close because they switch to a wooden dummy. But sometimes they show Newt's hand for too long, and you can tell it's just not it's this weird, like mutated wooden clump of a hand.
The reveal of the queen, though,
Yes,
is just so
It's
fucking
so
cool.
good.
It's the jaw like drops
Yeah.
out at the
Dude,
bottom.
it's like this. It's like
And
and
again-
like this with her huge crown and her huge
Yeah,
legs
so-
that are on the ass end.
So the queen, the queen effect, it's every effect that was available at the time except for stop motion.
Yeah,
Even the scene later on that looks like stop motion is not stop.
I know
motion.
it's a big giant puppet.
Yes, yes. So, she gets into the thing. She sees the egg sac. Now, the part of the egg sac is a miniature. Cuts back to Ripley, and then
Yeah.
it cuts back to a part of the egg sac that was built. So the alien queen is two guys in a suit back to back. One's doing the little arm, one's doing the big arm. Like, here we go. We have it here.
Yeah. Also, this is one of my favorite figures too because
Yes.
this is the first one to incorporate the head moving like with the
It's better
crown
than
of
the
head.
first figure they put out. Which
Yeah,
looks
I
nice.
mean-
you know what I want?
Yeah.
I want them to come out with heels exactly like that.
Yes.
I would wear the shit out of them.
I feel like I've seen like some kind of Giger inspired.
I've seen sunglasses and I've
Yeah.
seen actual like clothing. I have not. Why is that not a thing?
I love how both of us have the alien
We
queen.
brought the
and
same stuff to
and
the
we
set.
both don't have the egg sac that came with the toy. Anyway, so it's two.
Send us the hive.
So it's two people back to back. It's an hydraulic head. And then it's being supported by like a crane to move them around.
Yeah.
And then the legs are like rod puppets and stuff.
Yeah.
It's every single
It's-
thing available at the
It's
time.
incredible.
And again, it's constantly cutting back between like a miniature, a practical effect, full size effect, and it's pretty seamless. Probably like maybe two shots that look awkward, and that's it.
I mean, if
but
you
yeah,
wanted to split hairs.
I love the scene where they're staring at each other, and again because the effects are so good in this that the wooden Newt really stands out. It's really just the scene where Ripley's slowly moving because then now I look at the hand and I'm like, there's no fingernails on that. It's like peeling. Like, what the fuck is going on with Newt?
You don't know what they did to that little girl's hand. That
anyway.
almost just spilled all over me.
Oh my god.
Because there's okay. Can we do this?
You can just put it down.
Yeah.
You can just put it down. So, the queen takes her head out of her head. So she has a head come out of her crown and then a mouth come out of the head.
It's awesome.
That's great.
But I love that they had like this stalemate because like the aliens come out and then she like points the flamethrower at the eggs and like the queen's like, okay.
Yeah, and then she tells the other one,
Yeah,
like,
she,
back
like-
the fuck
Yeah.
off, and you
She
see them
tells
start
the
to
other
creep
ones
back.
to leave,
I
like-
love that when they creep into it
Yeah.
and then they creep back out. I
Yeah.
was like, oh, that's
Like,
a good shot.
Okay, we'll leave.
The fucking face she makes
Yeah.
when like she's like, all right, see, I called them off, and then the eggs start opening, and she's just like,
But we were joking. It's like, did the queen try to like get one on her and open that
Big
egg?
time.
Or was it the face huggers just like, there's a person? And the queen's like, get the fuck back, stop it.
get back in your.
Hi, I'm gonna face hug you. Oh God, we're all on fire. Mom. But I love that Ripley looks at her like, all right, you broke the truce.
Yeah.
Fuck you. It's like
Flames
all
it
on
up.
fire.
But
Shoots
she
up a-
lights everything. Why couldn't she
She goes a
kill
little overboard.
Yeah.
She goes, you don't have to waste all your grenades. She goes over. It's all about to blow up anyway.
I love it though because she's just
Just-
popping these grenades in the big
Yeah,
royal
but then
sack.
this is why the queen's like, all right, bet. I'm gonna kill you and your child too.
And it's actually this scene where you see Ripley in the bottom and then the rear projection of the queen. That's the one that looks a little
That's
dodgy.
a little dodgy. When this thing rips its ass from the sack, that always freaked me
Yeah.
out as a kid.
Because like when I first saw this, I'm like, is it going to carry that fucking sack around with it? I'm like, it's detachable. I'm like, that's awesome.
Wait, she can also like drop the legs too because there's like extra legs that I guess
No,
moves it around.
I don't think those are legs. I think those are just like, I think it's like the goo, whatever they use to build their hive.
Oh,
it's
is
just
it?
to
You think?
support
Oh,
the
the
sack.
sack. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was like extra.
I think
legs.
she sits. It's like a throne that she sits on.
Gotcha.
I did enjoy the yolk from the eggs pouring out of her, by the way. I was like, ew, that's so gross.
That was like, and that was a miniature. It's actually cool. They so the miniature that falls down when she falls down.
Yeah.
They have like a mirror behind her that's reflecting like a full size fire that's offset to make it look like there's a fire behind this miniature. Like it's so incredible how
It's
they
so
did all of
good.
it. Some of the shots of the rod puppet like walking down the hallway, like the arms are a little too wonky with it.
I like
It's
it.
Wow, wow. It's just weird when like the alien, the full size.
It does when it's like
Yeah,
it's the
just
bottom legs that get me. I
Yeah.
don't care about the arms so much. It's her actual
Yeah,
legs.
it's just the full size aliens like, and then it cuts to the miniature. It's like, bop, 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 bop.
I got no strings on it.
So Ripley gets in the elevator. She takes off. You think everything's fine. Yeah, but then I love the queen sees the elevator and does a little smile like, I'll get in there. Now, I assume, we don't see this, but I assume it's like cockroaches and she can like contract her body to fit in there.
She's pretty thin when you look at her.
Yeah, if you actually look at her, she's like, and
Yes,
some parts are like broken
especially
apart.
Yeah, especially that figure itself. It shows you how thin all those pieces
But
are.
you have the spikes and the big head, and how I know that she can't fit in the elevator.
Maybe she just rolled in a little ball.
Yeah.
And it was just
how,
like,
how I
"Whee!"
know she can't fit in the elevator is because the scene where she comes out of the elevator, they had to break the back off the elevator and put black fabric because they couldn't fit her in.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
who knows?
They don't want to break it.
Yeah.
But I love the fake out. This is the
Tony, it's been like 2 years.
Oh God, what happened?
she kept forgetting the word fake out and kept saying deep fake.
Deep fake.
You're worse than Crystal and her character Arch.
That was literally 2 years ago.
That was not 2 years
It was
ago.
like a year ago.
By the way, the Tank Girl episode, we filmed it late and she just kept getting.
I was here.
Yeah, she kept getting everything wrong and I had to
Oh,
keep
man.
correcting her. I was like correcting her grammar throughout the whole thing. Anyway,
Sure, it was a fun time.
she was like, yeah, it's recarnated. I'm like, yes, Crystal, it's
Leave her alone.
recarnated. Anyway, so I like the scene where she goes out and Bishop's not there. And she's
Yeah.
like, oh, you son of a bitch.
God damn it, Bishop!
Bishop! God damn you!
And it's cruel when the alien's coming out of the, because you don't see her
So
at
awesome.
first. And she
No.
comes out. And I like the whole, like, close your eyes, baby. We're
Yeah.
either going to get nuked or eaten. I'm not sure which one.
hopefully we explode first.
Yeah, but it's okay. Bishop's there.
My favorite thing about the ending of this movie is when the timer said 15 minutes. It literally was exactly 15 minutes.
Really, was it?
Yeah, and both cuts too.
Oh,
Gotta
wow.
love that.
I love it when they do stuff like
appreciate
that. I'm just
that.
like, oh yes.
No, I like it when they screw stuff up like that. When the clock is constantly.
No,
hate it.
I hate
like
it.
that.
bothers
I like
me.
Star Trek 5.
I'll count it out like as I'm watching the movie. Like,
No. I like Star
Like,
Trek.
oh, there's a timer?
Yeah.
Set.
You're dead. You're dead.
My favorite is Star Trek 5 when they're shooting up the shaft and you see the numbers on the levels and it's like level 5, level 20, level 6, level 15. It's just a different level.
Batman Forever when Dick Grayson's pushing out the bomb.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's dead.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because it's way too late. Anyway. So yeah, they get out of there. We hear the famous music. So James Horner did all the music for this. James Cameron didn't like how he edited the music to the movie. He didn't like how he was using the music.
Okay.
He had to come up with this last final thing in like a day. Like
It's one of the most iconic pieces
I know,
of
that's
music.
the ironic thing.
Yeah.
It's like it's something he threw together and it became the most iconic. But yeah, when the movie came out, like James Horner did not like how his music was used and was very, very upset about it despite being nominated for an Oscar for it. And it wasn't until Titanic they got together again. James Cameron's just like, yeah, we had to have like a meeting to make sure we didn't fight again. We had a system we worked on. They were more mature at that point.
I mean, James Cameron was dealing with a lot of shit on the production of this movie.
But it's also, it reminds me of like Ennio Morricone hates how Quentin Tarantino uses his music. But when I see the movie, I'm like, I feel like he's using it fine.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things, they have it in their head. And
Artist
not,
interpretation, for sure.
They have trouble separating from their babies, I guess.
Well, it's also a thing too, like, they scored it specifically to those scenes and that like spoke to them that way.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So
yes. So they get out of there. They escape the explosion, which is a light bulb and cotton balls.
Looks great.
It looks great. It looks great. And they make it on the ship. And I always turn the movie off here.
Yeah, it's the end. Yeah, it's
the Anything end. happen?
They just go to sleep.
Yeah.
They go to sleep? Okay. Okay. Whatever.
Jonesy's somehow there. No.
Yeah, Jonesy lives.
We did it.
I want to make Jonesy's tale. That's going to be my
I feel like that's a thing. A comic.
My favorite is the fake poster of Sigourney Weaver with the cat. It's just like Alien. It looks like a romantic comedy. You ever see that?
Yes.
Yeah, I want to just get that frame, just Alien. No. So they get to the ship. Bishop gets stabbed by the Queen.
He gets the harpoon through the chest,
Yes,
man.
the Queen who can fit inside the leg of the ship. Again, it's like cockroaches. I bet they could just contort.
It's fine.
How the fuck she get in there? We saw that thing take off. I don't know how fast she got in there.
Also, like, I don't know if the crown is big enough to fit in a certain way. She'd have to like, go sideways.
Yeah, I don't know how.
It folds. It's like a fan.
Oh, maybe.
I don't think so.
Oh. All sucks in.
It's a cool scene, and this is a fatality you could do in Mortal Kombat 10.
Yes.
You can call the Queen to kill your guy at the... Get the fucking microphone. So yeah, Bishop is split in half.
It's so good. It's not just split in half.
Yes.
Milks
Like,
everywhere.
Which curdled.
He just
and
drank a
was not happy
gallon of
about
it, and he's spewing it up, and the Queen just grabs both sides and just rips him in half, and he flies across the screen.
Flies across, and
So good.
The cutting between like just the prop flying around and him is really good.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Not like the previous one.
no, not like Ash's head.
The jump cut.
Yeah, oh God.
In the middle of the scene.
Yes, just cut to something else. Anyway,
Yeah, exactly.
So the Queen gets out of the ship, and it's awesome because it is the full size puppet
Yeah.
coming out of the ship.
I love how she breathes and stuff. That
Yeah. They basically did like a lot of the audio, James Cameron and whatnot, like in their living room with like synthesizers and whatnot.
I believe it.
It was very
Saving a buck.
Gail Hurd said it was basically like a home movie for us.
I think that's why I love it so much.
Yeah. So Ripley gets Newt underneath the floor grates and she runs to where the power loaders are and cut to the dummy alien queen running around
with her big wonky legs.
Yeah, the walking's weird. Her slamming the head on the wall is pretty
So good.
awesome. That's cool. It's really creepy when Newt is underneath the floor grates and you just see the queen from the top.
Yeah,
like that
like
scene
looking
always
at her.
creeps me out.
Yeah.
And everything is happening so fast. I don't know how she had time to lay an egg somewhere on the ship.
Maybe she was doing that when she was all crouched up. There was one left. Oh, she
Well,
contorted herself.
Wait,
I
wait,
got it. She contorted herself, and it fucking shot one right out of there, rocketed it right out onto that
What I was
ship.
going to say, when they show Hicks, when he's like, because Hicks is asleep for this whole scene. Is he already
covered in
Is he
acid.
already bandaged up?
He's all wrapped up. He's probably got sedatives on
so
him and
they
everything.
must have been parked for a while.
Sure.
So I guess while they're bandaging him up, she's probably like ran around.
Sorry, do that again.
It went. She went and then walked and put it underneath the floor grate and then
Gotcha.
and then was like, I don't know where to hide. Where did I come in? All right.
I love when Newt's under
That's
the
an
thing.
Alien 3 setup.
I love when Newt's under the grates and she's ripping off the
Yeah.
And
all
she's
the
like
grates.
shoving her hand under
Yeah.
there trying to grab her.
And this giant arm like rockets in and like tries to grab her. Now I was
Joe, those fingers did not bend.
no, okay.
The arm
went like that.
flops.
No, it's just like this. It's just like
It made me think because Steve Wang is part of Stan Winston's shop because he also
Yeah.
did Predator as well. But in the Guyver at the end, when David Gale turns into the Zoalord, those hands look awfully familiar.
Yeah.
They could be reused. I
This
don't
is
know.
the second time we've mentioned the Guyver on the show, and I want to point out that friend of the show, Clayton Fioriti, just did a review of the Guyver.
Oh,
So check that out.
That's awesome.
Beat us to it.
We've also done 1 and 2 on Movie Dumpster. So how do you like those alien eggs?
So everyone's reviewed the Guyver except for Hack the Movies is what I'm getting out of it.
It's awesome.
Oh, Johanna, we're going to review the Guyver tomorrow, and it's going to be like, my friend Joe said this about the movie. Well, my friend Clayton said this about the movie. Do you agree? Yeah, I agree. There's the review.
Yep.
Anyway.
Patreon exclusive.
Yes.
So the power loader comes out.
I had to stretch my leg because my knee
Oh.
pops. Yeah.
So
You've had me sitting here for like 2 freaking hours. My butt hurts.
Hey, you're the one who took a break to call James Cameron.
He called me.
That's right. Anyway, why didn't he call the store?
Why would he call you?
So
Direct to me.
He doesn't have your landline.
Yeah.
the power loader gets revealed in this cool shot. Well, not revealed, but
Mine's better.
reintroduced. Yes, yours is a lot better. And we get the classic line,
Get away from her, you bitch!
And Harry Potter ripped it off.
Yeah,
When,
apparently
Molly Weasley, she's like, not my daughter, you bitch.
Ugh.
I don't know.
Rowling steals from everything, man.
Yeah.
Like Troll,
Yep.
the movie Troll. Yeah,
The worst witch.
the worst witch.
And she didn't even steal the best
Aliens.
part, which was Tim Curry.
singing.
J.K. Rowling, terrible novelist. Great tweeter, terrible novelist. But anyway, let's get back to this. So we get the cool fight scene.
Yeah,
And
awesome.
again, you got the big hydraulic alien, you got the guy in the suit, it's mixing between miniatures and whatnot.
These are two gigantic practical things
Yes.
fighting each other.
So when you film like miniature stuff, you shoot at a higher frame rate and play it back slower because it needs to have weight.
like Godzilla.
Reenact.
Oh, there you go.
I don't have one that's to scale to this.
I think that's
No.
none of them are.
Anyway, oh god.
Oh, she literally bitch slapped.
So, you shoot things slow motion. And at this point, they had a camera that had like a system where you can change the frame rate while you're shooting. So that's how you get like the miniature moves slow, but then the tail like whips real quick.
Yeah.
So they're constantly cranking.
They're cranking like in the middle of it.
Yes.
Oh my god, that's
Yes.
that would be nerve wracking.
Yes.
to crank back
especially
and
with
forth.
film. Yeah, and it's just an awesome fucking fight. And then Ripley gets the idea to open up the airlock. Pretty risky. No one's tied down. Newt's just out and about. Bishop is still on the floor. I would have been like, I would have told Newt to like go to another room on the ship.
Well, she was underneath the floor.
Yes, but if you're gonna do the airlock, I'd be like, Newt, go literally anywhere else. Get the fuck out of here.
I think she just panicked. Like, what was she gonna do?
Yeah, that's true. Well, that should have just left Newt on the planet then. Anyway, so she opens up the airlock, and I like when she like whips the alien queen around and drops her down.
When they go down,
Yeah,
it's like,
yes.
oh,
Down
man.
together.
However,
Wait, did it ruin the movie for you?
much like Terminator,
Yes.
James Cameron and his goddamn light continuity. We see the orange light on the top. They make a point to show a close-up of this orange light being shattered. And then literally the next scene is just fine. It's fine throughout the rest of the scene.
Whatever.
Just like the lights in the truck of the Terminator,
I know.
which we mentioned in Worst Terminator. Tom pointed that out.
Well, if Michael Biehn went back in time and fixed the light on top of the power loader after it fell.
It's true.
I'm surprised we don't get one cutaway to like Hicks in the ship, just like with his arms like blow, because he's still tied down. And, like, then the air,
Or like he's being like slowly like.
he's on the
You see the bandages starting to like slowly peel off.
But I like that Bishop has to grab Newt.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the Queen grabs the thing as they go down. Ripley gets out. The Queen's crushed and trying to get out. And then as Ripley gets up, the Queen grabs her leg as she's opening the final airlock door.
Takes one of those cool Reeboks with her.
Yes, which they made recently.
If you want to buy them for $4,000, sure.
Yes. Remember they were only going to make them for men at first?
Yeah.
And I'm
I was like, are you kidding me? Like,
it's like, I get it. Because men buy more of this shit than women do.
There's people that collect shoes.
But those are women's, like, they're specifically a woman's shoe. Like,
I would wear them.
I would wear them too.
Yeah.
It's just weird, but it's like, come on, guys. You got to make, maybe don't make as many, but you got to throw the ladies something.
Yeah.
If you're going to make them, just make a bunch of them.
Yeah.
I don't know. That pissed me off.
Whatever. I'm not going to wear them.
I would if I could afford them.
If I could afford them, I would 100% wear those.
The bug stompers,
Do I
man.
look like the kind of guy who would dress up like something from a movie?
Huh.
Remember when we talked about Dune?
I wish I could be like, look, and I got the shoes too.
Oh, hold on. Oh, my breathing's really bad here. Okay. Still have the nose plugs from Dune. Go back and watch our Dune episode. Oh god, that's made my nose itchy.
Oh god.
Anyway, so how they did this, they just put the set sideways. So the alien queen is just standing up, but the way it's shot, it looks like it's going down a hole.
Yeah.
And they have big black fabric in the back. But yeah, she kicks the alien queen out. And somehow the vacuum of space does just not rip Ripley up and suck her out also.
Well, because there's still air like going past her.
I don't think that's how that
I'm
works.
pretty sure, right?
I don't think that's how that works.
Even I was like,
No, this is a little movie magic here.
Okay, I don't know.
I mean,
I've never been to fucking
oh, the
space.
Alien Resurrection, whenever she was being sucked.
Yeah, Alien
Tiny
Resurrection,
hole.
they were all about to get sucked out of a tiny hole.
Well, this is also true. And then one of them does.
Yeah. So anyway, she escapes. The queen gets blown out into space. Do you ever? You think
She gives her the finger when she flies.
It's like
You think the
leprechaun.
queen ever runs past the other alien? You think they ever were like, oh, hi?
Probably.
Did someone make something out of that?
I don't know. Maybe.
Also,
if not, you should.
How it should have ended might have done that.
Uh-huh.
I didn't mean to steal that joke if he did it.
If the alien
Yeah, we
skin,
don't steal jokes here.
We don't.
no, that's very rude.
Yes, but keep going.
If the alien's, I don't know, skin, you want to call it, exoskeleton, is impervious to the acid that's inside of these things, would it or would it not burn up in the orbit of some planet?
Yeah, I'm pretty
Like
sure it burned
entering.
up.
You
It
think
would
so?
burn
The
up. That's
atmosphere?
way hotter. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would. Fucking
I don't know.
giant solid rocks burn up in the atmosphere.
I'm just saying, it could
No,
happen.
it's-
Hey, it could happen, Mick World. That's all I'm saying.
I'm just saying. No, it's not surviving entry into an atmosphere.
It gets lonely out in space, though, right?
Jason X didn't survive burning up in the atmosphere.
Yes, he did.
Oh, right, in the comics.
That's what I'm saying.
Great movie.
A lot of similarities to aliens, I believe. So yeah, they launch the alien queen out. Everyone's happy. Ripley's in underwear, but not sexy underwear. No, I'm gonna save that joke for Alien 3. Yes, and she's like, "Yep, you're gonna have dreams the whole way home."
Well, she asked if she's.
Can I?
Yes.
Can I dream?
And she's like, "Yes, you can dream the whole way home."
You can dream about me and your fake mom and your fake dad.
You dream
Yes.
about drowning.
Yeah, you can dream of drowning.
Oh my God, Newt's dream, right? And she's just like drinking water in the dream the whole time.
So yeah, and then they take off.
I love how Bishop, they don't put her, she doesn't put him back together. She just takes his upper half and like puts him in a fucking Ziploc and puts him right in there.
They never put him back together.
Nope. He's like 3PO in the fucking backpack.
Yeah. So yeah, they just go to hypersleep and they go to
Yeah.
sleep and they take off and we don't see him again for a few more years.
Yeah, kick up that Horner score, man. It's awesome.
Till another film. And that was Aliens. Do you like Aliens?
I love Aliens.
That's woke. No, Aliens is great.
Yeah.
I know there are people now who don't like it because they think the queen ruins the mystery and turning it into bugs when the alien could have been something more complicated. And I understand that and I get that. But like I said earlier, out of all the sequels you could have got, this is a good one to have.
Yeah, but that's just birthed out of things that Ridley Scott was saying when Prometheus and Covenant were coming out.
Maybe, yeah.
And then somebody being like, "Oh, well, Ridley Scott's the master filmmaker, and it's his baby," and blah blah blah. It's like he didn't want to even come back to direct the fucking sequel. And in retrospect, he's like, "Yeah, I should have did that because it was a really fucking box office success." Yeah.
But yeah, it worked out really, really well. It's a nice, solid movie.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
With all of the things going on behind the scenes, it's incredible how
good it turned out.
How good it turned out, and it, on a shoestring budget, it seems.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, for a Hollywood film.
Yeah, this and the next one have like really complicated productions. Alien had a complicated pre-production, but
Yeah.
I feel like when they were filming, things were relatively okay.
They also didn't expect it to do as well as it did.
Yes.
You know?
But like this one, like all the obstacles he had to overcome and all the people he had to fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. And just the constant headache on set every day. Like,
Yeah, and then it did great stuff for like sci-fi and horror. I mean, I don't give a shit about awards, but it was nominated for
a bunch.
Shit.
Yeah.
She got nominated for Best Actress in
Yeah.
the film. Did she win or was she just nominated?
That I don't know. I don't keep up with that kind of shit. But I can tell you that everything in this film still looks amazing, and
Yes.
everybody, all the performances hold up really well.
Yes.
It's just it's just like such a good sci-fi action movie, like one of the best ever made. So
Yeah, it's really phenomenal. The Alien Queen is like one of my favorite designs of
it's
any
so
creature
cool. Yeah.
ever.
It's so cool.
Did you always want to be Ripley when you were a kid?
No, I wanted to be the queen.
Well, too bad you got to be the power loader. So. Well, how were you when you were in the power loader? You're like, I finally
I made it. I made it.
dream.
This one's special to me too because like I would always play with the toys
Yeah.
and watch it. So that was cool when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I love it.
Thank you for being the power loader, by the way, because that was really awkward.
You're welcome, Tony.
I literally, I needed someone to be the power loader. I'm like, oh, I don't want to be in it. Because one, I need to be behind the camera, and two, I don't want to be in it. That's a little
What's up with that
uncomfortable.
power loader with the thick lips? I don't.
Oh, God. There's a behind the scenes story that they tell about a prank they played on Sigourney Weaver. 100%. This is a prank that would get you fired now and would
what'd they
never
do?
make it. They had a balloon. And they waited for Sigourney Weaver to sit in there, and they pumped up the balloon so she thought the guy had a boner to trick her. And they all joke about it in the special features, and they think it's hilarious. And I'm like, that's not making. I'm pretty sure any future Blu-ray releases, that one's getting cut from the fucking special.
That's a pretty elaborate, like, kind of stupid joke to
it's
play on her.
1986.
I know,
mean, I
but
get it.
like, I don't know.
I'm glad it just wasn't real, because the further back you go in entertainment, the worse people were.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, at least it was a fucking balloon, god damn it. Then I guess Sigourney Weaver didn't care. But yeah, really, really solid film. Great time. And yeah, I mean, what should we review next? Let's see. I already did Alien versus Predator.
Mm-hmm.
I've talked about Alien Resurrection briefly, but that was
We're doing
joke.
Resurrection.
We should probably focus more on Alien
should, yeah.
Resurrection.
Let's do Covenant.
Covenant, but I mean,
Right?
Joe.
That was the one we saw together, right? In theaters,
Yes,
and we were just like,
Joe. Let's not be one of those shows that reviews things out of order. We got to do Prometheus first.
Oh, okay.
Which I
Right.
apparently still fucking own. My dad dug through some shelf, and apparently Prometheus made its way there. He's like, oh, one of your movies is here. And I'm like,
Not connected canonically to the Alien universe, Prometheus is objectively a good movie.
no.
Yes.
All the characters are awful and stupid and make dumb decisions.
why didn't she run to the side?
Why did they do anything? Why did the guy with the map who was in contact with the ship get lost, but then the people just running frantically got to the No, it's
I
bad.
like it.
It's
The
bad.
birthing
It's
like
bad.
scene's cool.
Huh?
The birthing scene's cool.
It's bad.
Okay.
All right, so we can do Prometheus, Alien Covenant.
No,
Alien vs.
actually,
Predator, Requiem.
Requiem I would actually like to
Requiem?
talk about. Covenant, no.
Yeah. What was the thing that got requited in Alien vs. Predator Requiem? I don't even know. Why is it called Requiem?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
It was a Requiem for a better movie.
Yes, maybe we could talk about Shocking Dark, aka Terminator 2, which is actually an Alien ripoff. There's so many other movies we could do. I don't know. Yeah, let us know what Alien movie we should review next.
Watchers 3. Yeah.
Watchers 3. Should we do Watchers 3?
Watchers 3, yeah.
Yeah, we could do movies that were inspired by Alien. Like we did the Thing prequel, but we could go back and talk about the Thing.
Oh, yeah.
We can do Jason X.
Or Jason X, very inspired by aliens. What was that Italian ripoff? The Italian
Alien Contamination.
Alien Contamination, which Joe Bob played on his show. We can talk about that. And
Oh, Alien 2 on Earth we can talk about, too.
Alien 2 on Earth. That'd
Yeah.
be a good one. Maybe I could find my old Alien fan films I made. No, we're not doing that. They're terrible.
Now I got to see that shit.
Yeah, guys, I just don't know what to review next, alien-wise. There's so many options for us.
I don't know.
Anyway, thank you for being a subscriber and watching this video. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. We're doing voicemails again. Give us a call. We missed hearing your voices. Johanna stays up every night going, I hope Buffalo Bill calls.
I actually do. That's not a lie.
Jessica was very flattered by Buffalo Bill's.
Now that's a lie.
She was like, what? Yes. If you don't get updates from us because YouTube sucks, we've started a mailing list. You could sign up for that and put that in the link below.
They don't update your subscribers anymore?
It's YouTube's so hit or miss.
Nice.
To be honest.
Gotta love it.
It's just like, if you look at like the podcast, download our podcast.
I'm dying.
If you look at our podcast numbers, right? It's like consistent across the board. Like each episode gets around the same amount of downloads.
Sure.
YouTube, if like a bunch of the fans don't like the movie we're reviewing, The Ring, as we found out, Midsummer, fuck your birthday, I guess. If a bunch of the fans don't want to watch the movie, YouTube stops recommending it, and then maybe it doesn't get sent to all the subscribers and whatnot.
Oh, that sucks.
That's just a theory. I have no way to confirm that. That's just what I'm thinking. So we made the mailing list. So the day after the episode, I email you all the links to where you can find every version of the episode.
Pretty great.
So check that out. And what else do we got? We got some other stuff coming up. I know this summer we're doing a convention at some point. We're doing like a show.
Oh, I got, we have Magic Mayhem and Little Rubber Monsters we're doing at the Colonial Theater. We're showing The Gate, and we're showing Ghoulies on 35mm film.
Yes.
It's our very first live in-person show on stage. We're going to be talking and stuff. We're not going to be Mystery Science Theater 3000ing the movie.
Okay.
We're going to be doing bits in between, talking about the films, and then we're going to show the films. But Tony is going to be there. Hack the Movies is going to be there.
And I'm sure you can come
or,
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We would
I'm
love to.
included.
Yeah.
How many
of
people
course.
can I bring?
Everybody you know.
Well, I don't want it to get too crowded. I've been to Colonial Theater. It's big. So I should probably...
You really need to bring everybody. You need to tell everybody and bring literally everybody you know.
I meant in my crew.
Oh, in the crew. Bring them all.
Nah, I want to limit it. So we got to bring everyone's favorite, mint salad.
Yes.
Right away, mint salad. You know what? Brian and Mike from the Scooby-Doo episode?
Yeah.
They were only ever in that one episode. Bringing them back. Let me think.
And people love me on the show, right?
Well, you're already there.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying. That's a good enough reason to come.
Yeah, that's a good reason to come. I'm trying to think who else from Hack the Movies can come. Oh, Doug from Good Times, Great Movies. He was on the private part. I'll bring him. And maybe while I have all them, we can like review a movie. Maybe I'll pick like the third movie in a franchise.
Oh,
Not sure
yeah.
what franchise
Yeah,
yet.
yeah, yeah.
But hi, Johanna. Yeah, so we will be there. And Joe, where can people find you other than this live event?
MovieDumpsterPodcast.com, wherever you get your podcasts. And we also have a YouTube channel. Please go head over there, give us a subscribe, check them out, check us out.
Yes.
Why don't you? We talk about movies just like on this show.
Yes. And we want to go to more horror conventions. Please
Yes.
recommend some. Tag the horror conventions and say, hey, you should have these guys as guests. They're very famous. Because if not, I got to pay for a table, and tables are expensive. Patreon.com/hackmovies. Anyway, that is it from us. Thank you, everyone. And yeah, we'll just got to think of another alien movie to review. We'll come up with something.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll figure something out.
Men in Black 2.
Yes.
That's what we're going to do.
Exactly.
That's what we're going to do. All right, goodbye, everyone. That was a good episode.
Yeah.
I think we nailed everything there.
Yeah.
Did I do okay? I've been feeling sick this whole time.
You did pretty well.
Yeah, you did fine.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I know what movie we can review next.
What?
We could do...
Okay.
Oh my God! What is that?
Sorry, that's my dildo. I was looking.
Oh boy!
You have to clean that.
Oh, how did it get in there?
I don't want to know. All right, well.
Alien 3.
I think Capcom does a great job when they're adding like collaboration characters.
I've never been able to extend this way.
Oh God, I gotta get the helmet on. Oh God, oh God.
Wait a minute, our guy's a bad guy the whole time.
I just think it's crazy that I'm better at video games now than when I was like 16.
That is how you fix all the problems with all these games.
I feel like toy distribution is so different than it used to be.
They resculpted over the chest. They gave him a flak jacket over it.
I laugh when I see Among Us, but I'm not having fun inside. It's a reflex.
No, you took my joke!
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our other videos and Patreon page.
Talking about tapes.